Good morning and welcome to today's live show. Quick note before we get started that the course is now only 4 more days at $100. That's right, the price is going to go up in 4 days. So highly encourage you, if you're dedicating yourself to learning, to get that course. Is very, very good for you. And hopefully I can help you out live though today. Really, I'm looking to be helpful live today because I think we got some interesting stuff happening. We got AMC that looks like it's popping up a little bit, and we got the SPY here. So let's get into this technical analysis for the SPY Qs, Apple, Tesla, Amazon, NVIDIA, AMD, and Meta going forward. And we're going to pay attention to AMC and GME as well. Okay, so looking forward to today, what do we notice? Well, we're starting to kind of turn back down as far as the SPY goes as of right now. Now, one thing that's not turning back down is Tesla. Look at that thing still going higher. That thing is just nuts to the upside right now. Looking down at the smaller charts, what do we notice? We have nothing that tells us this thing's going to reverse back around just yet. So still waiting on that one to apply a better position. Amazon, this one here creating something, so we got to pay attention to it early on. Is it going to break through and see something crazy like the rest of them? You know, Apple doing it, Tesla doing it. Apple looks like maybe it's going to start to back off here. We'll see what happens with that. Watch for that 2-hour divergence. We'll pay attention to it. Tesla breaking through. Amazon looking like it might. NVIDIA is really the one lagging behind still. 2 hours crossed down, so your indicator telling you the most probable move for this morning is down, and it looks like the stock's going down. So still got to pay attention to that thing turning back up. AMD, this one telling you the opposite, right? It's saying, hey, upside looks like the most likely option here. What I'd like to see from AMD to remain like overall healthy, some form of consolidation here, some form of maybe pulling back and testing 160.83, and then we can see that thing turn back up in positive territory. I think that would be great to see from AMD. It's kind of been chop into another zone of chop, and you're kind of hoping at this point, actually, if you probably pull up a 2-hour, you're kind of hoping, hey, maybe all of this chop is going to be huge to the upside because you got this big amount of liquidity here. Now you built the bottom one, use that to jet yourself up, curl back down into it, and then build some liquidity right in this zone. That would be an amazing look for AMD looking forward. So we're going to treat things how we see them. Right now we're noticing Meta creating some sort of, well, looks like a possible head and shoulders to me. It really does look like a possible head and shoulders to me. So overall with Meta, we want to pay attention to a 2-hour curling up, positive territory, 30-minute curling down, right? So 30-minute curling down, this doesn't necessarily mean like it has to go completely below this low. It's starting to look like it might. If it crosses over, goes negative, it could come down there. But you have to be aware anytime this curls back up, you can see more positivity, and most likely that 2-hour will start to curl up. So just pay attention to that. But as of right now, ended up coming a little bit down there. For AMC, up again, okay, up again 1.3%. The 30-minute was able to curl down, so you know that 30-minute needs to turn up in order to see upside. The good part here, 2-hour just still pointing up, getting a little bit overbought, so maybe a pullback is due unless we're going to see buying, which would be our gamma squeeze scenario. So the big thing for today will be the crossing of the daily MACD. If AMC can hold up for today, you'll get daily momentum behind it, and I think that that's a very bullish thing. GME needs to curl up on the daily as well, right? So GME needs to curl up on the daily scale as well, and it looks like we're starting to. So let's look at a 2-hour. That thing is curled up. There you go. So there's your divergence play here that looked pretty damn good, and that is something to pay close attention to. Okay, you do have that 2-hour divergence down here. So what do we want to look at? Well, that resistance right at like 24.56, that was really what I said would be like some solid resistance there. A lot of gaps, a lot of touches, a lot of things like that. So 30-minute rolls over. It means, hey, it's not going to be the moment. Maybe we need to make a stronger base. As of right now, you have a decently strong base. But if you need a shorter term strong base, you might see this dip down one more time like this and then curl back up into positive territory. And that would be a good sign that there is divergence on the 30-minute and 2-hour at the same time. Highly probable move that you're going to reverse the trend when you see those signals. Yeah, AMC popping a little bit, 2% this morning. So the key thing with AMC is that daily momentum takes over, get above 555. Coinbase, let's look at Coin too. We haven't looked at Coinbase in a little while. I need to turn on some tunes. Kind of looks like a flag to me, like a flag that got overexcited to the upside, or yeah, to the upside, doesn't it? Like if we drew a line here, you draw a line across, it's probably something around there. Let's clone this bad boy. Let's try to put it with this high right here. Yeah, it seems you got a little excited. Probably that is the point you want to touch. You see all these little ones struggling to get through. I think that's probably the point to look at. And look at that, we get excited to the upside. Ooh, drops back down. So 2 hour is going to be the play here. 2 hour curls down. Negative territory. This right here is a swing trade on the 2 hour to the downside. And I did watch Bitcoin last night. I was just watching it drop. It just kept dropping. I was like, what the hell? Okay, this thing is rejecting. As of right now, it's rejecting. 4 hours, what I want to pay attention to here. You're down by this low again. See if that 4 hour can turn back around. You probably have some very weird looking divergence here, kind of flat, which makes sense because it's coming down and testing that level. So no real divergence there, but you notice that the 4 hour is really close to positive territory. So look if that wants to curl up. If it's going to keep curling down though, if it's going to keep going right now, the most probable thing is downside until that's able to turn back up. We have to say that. Congratulations, No Assumption. Yeah, No Assumption really liking that AMD plate. Now, it gave you a fake out in the middle of the day yesterday. It really did. It gave you kind of a fake out in the middle of the day, which was this one right here. I think this was a few days ago. Yeah, this was Tuesday. Okay, so right there, that fake out was kind of nuts. And then, boom, it still just curled up, positive territory, positive move. Very, very good little trade there. Then you want to see where weekly expected moves are and things like that. I need to get those up on my other screen here. Just give me a brief moment. All right, there we go. Okay, AM Dizzle. AMD, and it still has upside. It still has like 5 points to the upside. I'm just saying it looks pretty cooked. Looks like it needs to move sideways for another move higher. AMC, ooh, starting to give it up a little bit there. So we'll see if that daily is able to cross up today. That would be the big thing. I think you need one more green bar and that to cross up, and this might be game time. What did this guy end up doing? I know we were looking at it almost like in an hourly. Because it's like you had one spike down that caused the divergence to really get violated, which was this one right here. But from this point, you would say there is divergence, so this will be interesting going forward. Crossed up, positive territory. We'll see if that positive move can come in for SMCI. Gold seeing another big move up. Okay, so this is something that I was looking at. 4 hour divergence almost, right? So I really wanted to look at this one, see if that's curling up on the daily scale. Look at that. It is. So gold saying like, hey, I'm going to the upside now. That's pretty much what gold's saying here according to the indicators until something changes, right? Things can change pretty fast. Let's keep this up on this screen, huh? There you go. So I think for AMC, something really cool to look at here is if this is going to be a big moment. Well, I think the 15-minute curls down and then the 15-minute curls back up by the center line. I think that's the most likely scenario from here. You see another hour or so of this consolidation because this doesn't look like dramatic selling or anything like that. Unless it starts to ramp up, we'll pay attention to it. But for now, you're just getting a 15-minute close to the center line. If that gets close to center line, curls up, hey, next positive move could be there. So we'll pay attention to AMC a little bit today. Oil making a move down. Oil looking like it wants to top out here, but I don't think this is the top yet. I really like that target, 84.72. And the thing about that would be this is selling that kind of got deflated, right? It kind of started to taper off a little bit. So if we get this to curl up at any time, ooh, you get a curl up right here, you might head directly for 84.72 for US oil. Bitcoin almost down by 3% now. What's Palantir been up to? Palantir coming and trying to match the high up here, giving you a 2-hour divergence. Oof. Palantir looks like maybe a decent trade setup because like we're like, I think like best case you turn down, maybe you come down into this area right here around 24.70, then you turn back up. Yeah, because that would put you pretty much in the middle of this zone right here to gain something. Pretty important level. If you really look at it, it almost looks like you're starting to build something. But 2-hour divergence likes to roll over daily charts. Okay, let's look at a daily chart here. Yeah, that looks like it needs a pullback. This looks like the time where you might see Palantir actually pull back on the daily scale. You're starting to get divergence almost in the near price action too. So on the RSI, not on the MACD at the same time. So that leads me to believe pullback still. Now, volatility saw that signal, hasn't confirmed yet. We got a little pop higher. I wonder if the 30-minute needs to see some kind of divergence as well. So 30-minute needs to see that divergence. We'll see if the SPY is able to go to that daily expected move, or the Qs maybe go to that daily expected move. Like I said, if this wants to remain healthy, if you watched my video last night, remain healthy, turn back up, I'd be happy with that. But if we just keep going, and then we get to this area, it's going to start to look like, oh, we might see some kind of rug pull unless we're able to hold up at those higher prices. Because if we start to build up and we see a drop like this, it's kind of like doubtful that we see another upward push unless this 30-minute wants to create a divergence or something. I think you just want to turn down like this now, create that divergence by the end of the week. Or I guess that would go into next week a little bit if we flowed like that. How's everyone doing this morning? Good morning. Drink your coffee. Check the dollar. Let's see the dollar. Dollar dropping off. So that's something I was watching last night. Like late last night, I saw the dollar start to push higher. But now you're seeing that dollar really start to drop off. So you got to look at things like two things. You got to look at TLT and the market. TLT going higher while that dollar's coming off. Okay, that might be some people buying. And then SPY going higher while the market, or while the dollar's dropping off. That could be that. And the Qs going higher as the dollar drops off. So this makes sense. Right? At least this makes sense. Now we want to see anytime that dollar turns back around. As of right now, you're creating a divergence right here. So I wonder if that'll start to turn around soon. Now, it hasn't even seen a wick up or anything like that, but you notice I'm always aware. I'm always aware of what's going on. And this is a 2-hour bar. You got an hour and a half left. If earnings is good, Tesla going to 300. It very well could. It seems like it's making some solid moves. And you're seeing this, like this is one thing I was looking at. If this monthly turns up, it means it's a great investment. That's what that means. So it'll be interesting to see if this rejects or turns back up, as we're already way outside of that monthly expected move. On the weekly side, you've crossed up, you're trying to go positive, you're almost overbought. So this is where I probably want to see some kind of retest for more bullishness. It doesn't mean I won't get bullish on it. This is a stock that you can swing trade now with that breakout. So I'm going to be paying attention to if we get a minor pullback and then we swing back up, I might take a swing trade up to the upside, which we need to make. I need to get working on that course. I need to put that in my notes for the weekend. Make sure to smash that like button as you come in this morning. Let me see here. Jobless claims at 238, so that is technically, and Grumps, thank you so much for subscribing. That is, oops, I clicked on this. My bad, I clicked on something wrong. That's technically an increase in initial jobless claims would tell you, and continuing jobless claims still continuing to go upward. That is a sign of unemployment. So that is what you need to pay attention to there. The unemployment there saying, hey, I'm going up. So that's what initial jobless claims does. Now, it's also important to know in the jobs data, they don't calculate one person having multiple jobs. They don't calculate how many of those jobs are government jobs, which don't produce anything, guys. If you know anything about government jobs, the fact that, you know, your president, Joe Biden, he comes out and he says, we've created all these jobs. Those are all government jobs. That is very different from allowing regulation to come down so companies can therefore go and create more jobs. Companies creating jobs stimulates the economy. Government jobs just suck more money into government, and that's exactly the problem we have right now. So pretty much almost, I think it's like 75% of the job growth that we've had has been government jobs. And that's just not a good thing. It's just not, because who pays for those at the end of the day? Most of the time it's taxpayers. Most of the time it's taxpayers. It comes out of your tax dollar. So it's just another thing that becomes more expensive, but we see politicians do it all the time during an election year. We see it all the time. They say, oh, we created jobs. They're all government jobs. They just cost the country more money. That's what was different from the jobs that were created, like with Trump actually just created jobs by creating less regulation on companies, less taxing on company, tax cuts for companies, and that allowed them to do more things to make more jobs. That was the big difference there. Now, this morning we do get PMI at 9 a.m. That is supposed to come in at 52.5 or 53.5. and the previous was 53.8. So it'll be interesting to see if that ticks up. As of right now, AMC struggling just a little bit. Looks like NVIDIA trying to hold up the best it can. Tesla's still ripping. So I don't think I will apply the next position in Tesla. I will take that one as an L and see if that thing just turns back around and I can break even. That's probably the smartest thing to do there. Thankfully, I know to be very cautious in this market, so God dang, you just can't argue. That is just such a good move. That is just insane. And you have like almost nothing convincing you this thing has to come down. That momentum is just strong all around. Yeah, you can find divergences and things like that, but when you start to see this type of behavior, it's like divergences could just never play out. So the next divergence, I probably will not be adding to the position. I'll just see if it gets lucky over time because it's a 30-day position. So if it gets lucky and I break even on that, that's fine. If I lose, I think it's like $750. I'm like, whatever. Damn. Can't win them all. Look at CrowdStrike just for a moment here. On the daily scale, we see we're in a pullback overall, and you're pretty much pulling back with time. This is very important to understand. You're pulling back with time right now, which is something that I thought was a very cool description of when you were moving sideways. You're using time to pull back, and you see that indicator getting less and less momentum in it. And then boom, it gets down to here and it crosses back up. So I think you do have the opportunity to come wait for this 20 to catch up. And then maybe we see that big move up, and then you'll see this cross on the MACD, and it'll be a little swing trade right there. So I think that's what you're looking for CrowdStrike, not necessarily seeing anything like maybe a 4-hour turning up, something like that. 2-hour, if that thing goes negative, that's not a good sign. But right now you're just moving sideways. So really, since this has been bullish for a while, if you move sideways, the most likely option is you break to the upside, right? You're still in positive territory on a lot. Now we can look at silver real quick, and then we'll get over to Apple. Silver, we see a big breakout here, big breakout. Okay, so the daily is able to turn up with that bar. Now here's the thing about silver as well. This is just a swing trade, right? So this is why we need to put out that swing trading course soon, because this right here was the bar that said this is a swing trade. Even though this hadn't crossed yet, this is a bar you can pay attention to. Boom, big upward move. Now we can just say, hey, maybe I hold on to this for a little while, see if that's able to cross up, get above this high, go make a new one, because that's usually what happens in these areas. Now, you didn't really create a divergence on the RSI with this one. You kind of created these matching highs. So I actually think silver has a higher likelihood to maybe see some kind of curl up, curl back down, create that divergence. We'll see what goes on with silver from here on out. As of right now, on the 2-hour, it looks like a pullback looks like the most likely option. So I'd be paying attention to a 30-minute, seeing if that can pull down near the center line and then curl back up. And then I'd be like, okay, maybe I need to be in this move, right? That's what I would say about the momentum here. Looks so good for silver. And then someone said Apple. Let's go look at Apple real quick. Apple, this one, really want to pay attention to my 2-hour signal here, see if that's able to drop off, because you're creating a 2-hour, you're creating a daily divergence right here, right now. Now, it's still far away from the center line, so I think any kind of drop we get, maybe earnings turns into good news. But you'd say if we're by that center line by the time earnings comes, that's really an indication that the earnings will be a 50-50 flip for Apple. So be cautious with it. We have earnings right around the corner. We'll see what happens with that going forward, and then go from there. But right now you do have that divergence. It's just far away from the center line, unfortunately. PCC at 0.648. So thank you for bringing that to my attention, Hugh. Pretty much that tells me, hey, if we can remain at those levels, a lot of people getting bullish as of today. So if we head up, I'm looking for any kind of reversal signal, right? Any kind of reversal signal is what I'm looking for. As of right now, I don't think you really have one. It's kind of doing the healthy thing. It's not getting too excited. The Qs might be starting to get too excited though. You see how the Qs aren't backing off. So if the Qs end up pushing up into this area, I'm going to be a little worried about the Qs going into Friday. Remember, we don't have trading tomorrow. So Thank you guys for being here today. 118 people. Can we get 118 likes on the channel for today? Get some more people in here so we can learn about some technical analysis throughout our day. Sometimes crazy stuff happens, but we need to teach more people about this, guys. That's why I want you to like the video. We need to teach more people about these levels because support and resistance, great stuff to pay attention to. But this is the best support, the best resistance that you can get. It really is. Thank you, Gabo. Good morning, Gabo. God, dude, you know when you just need like an egg sandwich with Japanese mayo? Oh, god dang it. I do like PayPal. I like the 30-minute divergences I'm seeing. Not necessarily the one on the R side, but I think it was 2-hour divergence is what we pointed out. You even got another dip down for maybe another scale-in. So this one here turned out to be a little bit of a fake out. We turned down, turned right back up. So very, very good little scale in for maybe an investment at this point. See some kind of turn up here. We'll see what's going on. Are we able to turn up the daily scale? I believe you were. Oh, you're about to. So you may still have some time left in this. You know, you still want to pay attention to that 2-hour, able to actually go positive. It's really trying to right now. If you can see a 30-minute pullback, that would probably be the nicest scenario here for a trader is, you know, maybe he's taking a position or seeing that everything is going positive, getting some kind of pull back, maybe filling this gap and then turning up with a higher low. I think that would be a great scenario for PayPal. And that's where I would really think about getting a trade involved because PayPal been beat up for a long time. And if that daily turns up, you might see a good reaction. So I might look into PayPal soon. Do you think they'll do another split? I don't think they'll do another split personally. I've never even heard them really talk about doing another split. What I'd be more interested from Tesla is just like the earnings. I think your earnings coming around the corner, right? When is that? Let's see when that is. That's coming up pretty quick. So we need to see because I believe, let me go look at the info on this because I don't have the number. If someone has the numbers that they kind of put out as far as deliveries, that would be helpful. Because, let me look this up. Yeah, production 410,831, deliveries 443,956. Was it that's more than expected, right? So the move makes sense, and then they upgrade the price target to 260. So all that kind of makes sense to me, if I'm reading into that correctly. Actual 54.8, a little bit better previous. 54.5 for the, is that for the PMI? Nope, PMI comes out in 10 minutes. I have that wrong too. $54.8. My PMI hasn't updated yet. Now we're seeing the PMI final start to come up there. So the main one people will pay attention to is ISM services, but your PMI finals are both coming in higher. That's interesting. I wonder how the market reacts to that. But we do have a bunch of calls in. Like you look at this put call ratio. Once you get down to these levels, puts start to get a little bit cheap. All right. Baby girl crying. Might look if anything's cheap. Look for a setup here. Friday. Sounds good. We'll keep that up and away. I'll go for a bigger chunk when the daily goes positive. Hey, I like that little strategy. I think that's pretty good. Deckers? Yeah, we can look at Deckers real quick. I just doubt that Tesla does another split. Decker's looks like if you curl up on the daily, you might see a good sign, but that is some pretty algorithmic, just downward trajectory for that selling. Really want to see a 2-hour divergence. You don't really have one. You have a little tiny one down here on the MACD and a little not necessarily one on the RSI. So that just tells me, hey, if we see a reaction up, some of these, how they look, they curl back down like this. They give you that lower high, or that higher low. But really, if you're just paying attention to this on the daily scale, you can see this kind of cross above. See how all the moving averages are clumped up now? So if you get one bar to cross above these, then it's a very high probability that you're going to see this curl up and you're going to see another move. So really trying to simplify it for you here. There's no divergences up here. There's nothing like that to say that this has to crash down right now. You're by the center line. Just be patient. See if that thing curls up. We'll teach you about this in the swing trading, but when all your moving averages start to clump up like this and you just cross above all of them, it's a very high probability that you're going to curl up that MACD because it's the lagging indicator. So that would show you if this does this, the RSI, it's going to cross the center line, and the only thing that won't cross yet is the MACD, and then that usually happens like the next day. So that's just something that we'll get into when we get into the course for swing trading. But that hasn't been created yet. The course that you get now teaches you in depth like everything you need to know in order to use pretty much any trading strategy. Thoughts on the SPY for the rest of the day? Well, we have a lot of calls coming into the market as of right now. I'm really paying attention. So I'm going to use this as a point here, and that would tell me something going on here. The 15-minute for the Qs, and I know you're asking about the SPY, but something to pay attention to is the Qs as they start to get more and more overexcited. You're starting to get to that weekly move. So this is the first point, right up towards 488.12. So you got about 50 cents left where you can run into some profit taking, some selling, some kind of sell-off or profit taking because this is as high up as the options market was expected to go. So that pretty much like mentally, if I only expected the stock market to go to 488 and I didn't even know about this line, it's just, man, that's just where most likely we expect it to go for this week according to the options data. So that's telling me this is where some resistance can come in. The SPY has a little bit more room, right? A little bit more room to that upside, but the healthiest thing to do is to pull down. So I think this is my opinion. If the SPY is going to remain healthy, you're going to see this turn down. And then if it has more positivity, it's going to turn up at some point. All right. So I think that's the most likely scenario, or that's my opinion. Sorry, that's my opinion. But the 2-hour is crossed up positive territory, right? And you're starting to get to where that thing can ramp up. So the actual indicators are telling you, my opinion is different from the indicators. The indicators are telling you you're good to go still. But I'm just saying this would be chasing as you are overbought. You know, this is more the point where you want to try to get in is see this little pop here, boom, ride that thing up a little bit and then be done with it. Yeah, I can check Reddit. Reddit, this might be a daily divergence here. Let's check it out. Ooh, not really. Not really. Kind of a wonky looking chart, honestly, on the daily scale. Let's go to a 4-hour maybe. Yeah, kind of a wonky look to it. So here's kind of what you're looking for over here, all right? This is kind of what you're looking for a reversal in trend. But if this wants to go down like this, curl up, it could have a little swing trade in it. That's why we want to put out that swing trading course, just so you know the exact things you need to do, when to place orders and things like that. But this is what you're looking for right here for that to reverse. Okay, so do we have that right now? No, we don't. So I think the likelihood here for us to turn down, turn back up, see that look again is high. I think that would be more what I'm looking for from a reversal standpoint. And if that just never goes negative, then it's just going to keep doing that. And you keep swing trading it, and you keep swing trading it, right? The Dow is screaming down. Sorry, my ear was itching. Let's check on IWM. I don't think these levels are right. I never change IWM. I don't know why. Is this a 4-hour curl up to the center line? This looks like if the 4-hour drops, that's not a good sign. Dow's not fully breaking down yet, right? You're curling up positive territory for the 2-hour. So the most likely scenario here is you go create a little divergence and then we break down. That's just me being honest. That's what the indicator's telling me as of right now. Now, if that just reversed right back down, okay, we could see something like this. But I think the likelihood here, according to this indicator right now, is we're going to go test this high, maybe go make a new one, watch out for a divergence up there, right? That's what I'd be doing as far as that goes. Volatility able to roll over and go negative. So this is where I'm wondering if we create the stronger base for volatility. I think that would be very interesting. And then we just want to see some kind of reversal pattern from the SPY. AMC still fighting 530 right now. Nice. GME, nice. GME able to get above 24.56. You hold above that, that's actually a really, really good sign. This 2-hour divergence might have something to say about this right now. That 2-hour divergence, you see some bullishness today. You can start to maybe even start to get close to curling up that daily chart there. Interesting to see AMC go up, and I think the main thing to learn from this is, when has it ever been allowed to just do this for multiple days in a row? And I was looking into some of the people I look for some info, and apparently like 85% of the price action was in dark pools. So this is only 15% of the actual thing that happened. And so you'd say they are fighting it, but there must be, I think people are posting that there's a buying imbalance. So that would tell me when there's a buying imbalance, hey, that means there's more buying than selling. A stock should go up. And it is going up. But the fact that that buying imbalance, they can't fight against it, I think is a good sign, actually. I think it's a good sign that they're getting tired. Now we're seeing a lot of crazy moves. A lot of crazy moves. Tesla like this. We're seeing, I think it was Apple. Apple like this. We're seeing AMD make these weird rips and rips down and rips up, and it's just tearing people. So that tells me, what if they're still funking with the market in order to pay for more suppression, or maybe they have to pay for the problem soon? We'll find out. As of right now, dollar dropping off dramatically dropping off there. So this could be where breadth comes in. Who knows, right? But I really think that, and the thing that I wanted to get across today, something kind of important to talk about, was the state of how everything is, how we're seeing a lot of crazy things. And, we have a president that can barely talk. I watched the whole debate. It was painful to watch, to be honest. It did not give me very much confidence for the next few months. And they really don't want someone else in power besides, Joe Biden. So I'm really trying to think, because the market being where it's at kind of reflects on, hey, it's high, it's high, and they convince you it's good, but we know it's sick. All right, Joe Biden, he's old, but they convince you he's good, but we know he's sick, right? Then we're like, okay, all the wars going on around the country, it's like geopolitical everything. It's like they convince you it's fine, we're in control, but everything seems sick to me. So it's just like reflecting across all avenues. So I'm very worried about something funky happening, like AKA protect my family, before election time comes, because I think there's going to be some crazy stuff happening, to be totally honest. I think we're going to see stock market volatility. I think we'll see geopolitical volatility. I think we'll see all of it. Couldn't do it. Stuck to the meme clips. We had fun with it, though. We had fun watching it, for sure. Like, it's just fun. What was it? It was like, what the heck was my favorite part? My favorite part was when he called pollution pooshin. That was the best. Good morning, Martin. Let's say good morning to some people. Let's put out some positive vibes out there. Who's down? Scott, Ray, Dawit, Martin, Ty, No Assumptions, Marina, Scott, Claudio, Mark, Tom, Bernie, Xanilix, Legini. That's all I can read, but good morning to you all. Amazon, let's go check out Amazon, because this one has a reversal signal and that thing is starting to complete right there. If you want to maybe a little cleaner, look at the hourly, look how steep that is. This is a reversal signal, just so we're clear. This is something that actually is a reversal signal towards that weekly expected move. That's pretty much what you look for. Now, when you see this start to complete, it doesn't mean you can't make a 15-minute divergence to really turn this around. Now, you have that over here, but I'm just saying you want to pay attention for one more rig move up. As of right now, it's completing. So that tells me if that completes in the next 30 minutes, okay, awesome. See that 2 hour, is that 2 hour going to curl over? It has divergence as well. So you could see a dramatic drop here. But just notice you're far away from the center line. So that dramatic drop could actually just be a pullback to turn back up. So something like this could happen, and then we just turn right back up, positive territory. Then we make that divergence a little bit closer to the center line. I think that's a very good likely thing to happen. So we'll find out about this, but right now you're getting that reversal signal. It's confirming. So your indicator is telling you, hey, the 30 minutes in a pullback, but watch out, there's divergence behind it, so it can reverse the trend. PMI, okay, yeah, let's go look at PMI coming in at 48.8. 48.8. Like, how off can we be on our consensus and forecast here, guys? Like, how off can we be? Let's look at this, because technically I think a lower PMI should be an overall good thing for the market. Well, Q's running into that resistance point there. See, this is where I'm like, you're getting overexcited. You should not go above these levels. You should carve it out, turn back up. Maybe it does it right now because that's not too excited. If we start to burst through that and get up to this area, I'm like, God, I'm really looking for a rug pull pretty much. Let's see what happened with the dollar after getting that info, by the way. Okay, so we're coming down into a little trend here. I love how when you switch the time frame, the trend just totally changes. Okay, this is a good thing for the market, though, dropping back below 105.65. That is some extreme buying coming in, but it's just weird because normally we see the PCC going way down. We see a rigged move, some kind of pullback, some kind of flatness, which maybe is what we'll experience, some kind of flatness. Do some reading. All right, you want to know what Nancy Pelosi is buying? Nancy Pelosi is back on the trading desk. She just bought 5 million of Broadcom AVGO and another 1.2 million of NVIDIA at this level. So very confident. Let's go look at that one. All right, well, this right here, I mean, that does say, like, that's a swing trade technically. Yeah, that's a swing trade right over here, so interesting. And she bought more NVIDIA, so they are not going to tear down NVIDIA then. Interesting. That's just what it tells me, because it's Nancy Pelosi. She's perfect. She also sold 500K of Tesla and 536K of Visa. Interesting. Now, why would she be selling this guy when we're seeing it by the 200 curling back up? You can start to take back these moving averages. Good likelihood you see a little break higher, but interesting. We'll have to see what's going on with that. SPY kind of flipping back to green here. So Q's looking a little red bar, but it is green, by the way. It's up 0.11. So if you break through this, really like to see maybe even just consolidation here to head higher. That would at least be a little healthier, but I think the overall healthy move would be to dip significantly lower, actually, significantly being about 1%, and then seeing that turn back up. I still think it has the opportunity to remain healthy here. Yo, what is up with this storm I'm seeing? Has anyone heard about this storm, like a hurricane or something? What is Chipotle? CMG? Well, who's heard about this storm coming? Ooh, good 30-minute divergence. Gave you the tapering for now. You're kind of flaggy here, so watch for that 30 minutes to drop one more time. I actually think if the 30-minute drops one more time, this might be a good one. So what you're noticing here is we're getting close to the center line. If that could just drop one more time and make that stronger base for that last bit of tapering, you see we're straight down. We taper like this. We taper this way with the bigger price action. Now we're starting to do this. So that is a good sign, but for a trader, this would be a great, great look. This would be a fantastic look. Oh, I would like that a lot. I would make a range for that thing and start to trade that thing. So see if the 2 hour is able to curl up. If it is, you're probably not going to see that 30-minute turn down. Yeah. Okay, so from here, if the 2 hour is able to hold for the next hour and a half, if that 2 hour can cross up, hopefully it can get back above that 200, but I totally understand. If you want to see this thing completely reverse around, though, you got to be a little careful because we said this area here, left head, what if we go make an elongated right shoulder? We go like this, and then we just curl down, then we curl down like this. Uh-oh, that wouldn't be a good sign. Now, what I'd like to see for a reversal is some kind of bounce here, curls down, curls back up. You see that happen, that'd be a good sign for momentum. Being careful with this one, looking at the daily scale as well. You have divergence there, it's going negative. This is a very interesting trade because you have one signal that's saying weakness, you have one signal that's saying bounce right now. So the longest time frame is saying, hey, I have divergence. I have a lot of divergences on the RSI up here, and I'm going negative as of right now on the MACD. So it is one to be cautious with, but I want you to pay attention to one thing, and we'll talk about this while swing trading. Do you see how all of the moving averages are clumped up again? So all you need to do is get one breakout like this, and guess what? You got a swing trade that can cross up this MACD. All right. Usually once you take back all of these moving averages when they're clumped up nearby, you're going to see that RSI cross. The last thing you'll wait for is the MACD crossing. But if you get a confirmation above this level, that would be Chipotle saying, hey, daily momentum is back in your favor. Let's look at Rivian. I haven't looked at that in a little bit. I saw my first Cybertruck. We don't see a lot of Cybertrucks here, so I saw my first Cybertruck the other day. Like in Kansas, in my city. But I've seen them other places, but I thought it was cool to see them here. Rivian, I saw a bunch of these in Atlanta. I used to live in Atlanta like a year ago, and yeah, I saw a bunch of Rivian cars. Or it was Rivian trucks, maybe. So on the daily scale, you're just you're a touch overbought here. And you're creating some sort of divergence because actually it measures the closing bar. So this right here to this right here, actually proving some divergence on the RSI, just a tiny bit. So a pullback looks a little likely. Let's look at a 2 hour, because what are you noticing on the 2 hour? Oh, look at that. It's giving you a signal like, hey, I might be pulling back. Okay, so with this point here, you kind of have that flatness. So that could be some sort of weakness in momentum. Maybe you just need to see a more dramatic pullback, right? Pull back to the center line, curl back up. This has been some great swing trading. It really has. You see, we build up, we get above the 200. You see some confirmations for investment points here. Okay, that curls up on the MACD. Finally, right here, we don't curl back down. Good move. Okay, curled back down with some divergence up at the highs. Okay, going down from here. Now we curl down, we curl back up, we get above the moving averages. Big move. So if you were just swing trading this, technically you would have been in the move, actually. I need to start to pay attention to these guys like Rivian. Kansas, yeah. I used to be in Atlanta, and I saw, like, once we found out we were pregnant, we were like, all right, I was like, you know, dad mode, we got to move back to Kansas because it's just nicer here. The people are nice, and we, you know, in Atlanta, I was seeing like 3 car accidents a day, driving 25 minutes total. Yeah, Tesla at 241, that momentum really taking over here. So that's why I'm not even going to apply my other position. Count that as a loss. See, even I take losses. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect. All right, guys. I'm going to put this on AMC just for a second so you can watch it. See if that 30 minutes or 15 minutes. Let's do a 15 minutes so it's a little closer. See if that's able to curl up. I got to go use the restroom real quick, and I'll be right back. Right back. 2 seconds. Good opportunity to like the video. Good opportunity to go check. I muted myself. Check out that course. And we're back. What'd I miss? Oh god. The boys are playing. We might be in trouble here. The boys are playing. Charles in charge of our days and our knots. Oh, let's listen to tunes, guys. What are we doing? What are we doing out there? We gotta listen to some tunage. Yeah, I said happy 4th because we probably won't be live tomorrow, right? So. Is it 18? Which one's the one that I was listening to last night? I was listening to one of these big booty mixes, and I was like, oh, I haven't heard that one in a while. Oh, we're watching some Miss Rachel this morning. Is that 20 that I was listening to? Maybe it was 20. Oh, yeah. All right, I like this one a lot. All right, GME, starting to see that weakness. We'll see what happens with this. 15-minute pullback, likely, but we'll see if this 2 hour can just take over. Ooh, gold. Notice this, look. What's the best thing? Well, you get above all the moving averages. Going positive now, curl up right here. You got above the 2 small ones and you're above the 200, you get above the 50. Ooh, good move. I'm really interested in Palantir too. War. 3 lights at the motel, on the street lights in the city of Palm. Ew. Ew, Amazon, ew. Yeah, that'd be so funny, Sean. I just like come back and I'm like, damn. Not only did I shit, but the market shit too. Oh, I think we're overstretched across the board. Like, just look at the Qs. We're overstretched. It's like, but we're seeing names get overstretched for long periods of time. We're seeing months of times where you're getting out of expected moves, which you don't see. Like, I've traded like this for a long time, and you just do not see this type of behavior very often. So yeah, overstretch is a good way to put it. The best way to look at that is just go, okay, look at anything you're looking at, ES, NQ, anything like that. Okay. You think we're overstretched a little bit? I'd say so. We can keep going though. We're almost to the annual expected move. Private stock. And we have no reversal signal here, so that's why I'm saying I think pull back into a push higher would look most likely. Unless they just rip it away. Dollar just dropping. But TLT is the one seeing the big move. Is this a flight to TLT? Interesting. Yields really dropping off, which they should with that data. Actually, yeah, they should with that data. It makes sense. What do we get on Friday as far as data goes? Or do we get something tomorrow that people can't react to? FOMC minutes. Ooh, FOMC minutes is today at 1. So now this is dropping off. People probably thinking, ooh, rate cut is coming. What are they gonna say? Higher for longer. They haven't changed it in forever. And then tomorrow, oh, Friday. Okay, so Friday we actually get, right? Friday, non-farm payrolls, unemployment. That's what we need to watch. Because this guy here, we know that it's already triggered. Now we're just waiting for it to ramp up. Every single time this triggers, bad things start to happen. This one just triggered really fast. I think it triggered like right at the low. I've been gone since I remember. All right, let's look for a 30-minute divergence here. If that rejects, gets a higher low, that'd be interesting. All right, so unemployment, we'll pay attention to that on Friday. Tesla, 5%, it hit it. The coolest part about Tesla is, I'll just show you guys on my other charts. All right, I'm gonna show you guys on my other charts. The coolest part about Tesla is because I have the weekly and monthly expected moves up right here. Look how it builds up at the weekly, pops higher. Look how it builds up at the monthly, pops higher. That's what you have to be aware of. So once this started to happen at the end of the day, I was like, okay, I'm not scaling into this anymore. I'm going to see if there's some kind of reversal signal. So if that 15-minute turns down here, maybe I'll add like another few contracts just to make the price better so I can break even. But this here is an interesting thing because look at this. Use the weekly, pop higher. Use the monthly, pop higher. Very good behavior actually from Tesla to head higher like this. This is exactly how it needs to happen if you're going to see the crazy move and it's like overall a good move. This is how you want it to happen. It's very, very cool. I love to see it. I mean, yeah, okay, so that's the funny part too. It's like I lost money in that trade so far and I'm still excited to see that. That's how weird I am. Okay, what is this? Can I look at that? She takes my dinero, take my dinero, she takes my dinero. Whoa. Is this like cost to borrow? Oh, cost to borrow. Okay, that was yesterday. This is interesting. So this is a cost to borrow chart, pretty much. Look at that. Someone was borrowing a lot of cash yesterday. 2 days ago. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 32. In a little bit, guys, I'll be 32, okay? In a little bit. 1, 2. And AMD looks kind of like it built up. Centerline, there it goes. So you have a lot of stocks that look like they could make moves higher, and then a lot of stocks hitting like highs that look, oh, you want to see a good one? Microsoft. You want to see a good one. Now, Microsoft might need to make a daily divergence here, but this here on a 2-hour, look at this look. That is a look to pay attention to, and it's at a weekly, it's above its weekly expected move. This is a great little setup, actually. Now, we're seeing craziness across the market, so shorting going to be very difficult, but this is what you see. This is what you start to see when things start to give weakness. If that can curl over, not a good sign for Microsoft. When am I gonna tell her that she had tattoos, she thinks it's pride? When she's with you, you get deja vu when she's with you. She's a runner, she's a track star. She's a runner, she's a track star. Everybody, who likes that Microsoft? Doesn't Microsoft look interesting? Yeah, that's kind of crazy. A lot of the time people have proved like it's her husband doing it, but yeah, a lot of the time she does it through her husband, from what I understand. Let me go look at Apple. This is what I'm worried about Apple a little bit. Now, I still think Apple bullish, right? Very bullish. Right now, we'd have to say this is just a 30-minute pullback, right? Look how high up that is. So if this wanted to come retest a level, head higher, that would still make sense. You're not getting really excited. You're just getting a little excited. So that can cause the pull back, and then you curl back up. This look right here would be great, and then maybe you form something like that. That's more what I'm looking for to turn over that 2-hour. But we got to be aware of what's going on in the market. Right now, the Q's heading higher, going into a weekly expected move. At this point, I'm going to wait, right? So I'm waiting for the signal. So if this 15-minute curls over, I might add a couple more just to see if I can break even in the trade if we see a bigger pullback. But it just goes to show sometimes crazy stuff happens, and this is where I'm supposed to scale in, and I'll just have to really, really mull it over. I'll probably look at this, you know, when I'm not live and just really think about it. See how much I want to dedicate into it to break even on this trade. I'll look at the dollar in one moment. Ooh. 2 hour curls down, bad news. What a bounce. Holy crap, what a bounce. Wow. And you're above all the moving averages now. This is kind of bullish on the daily scale. Not gonna lie, this is kind of bullish on the daily scale. Now I just pay attention if that 2 hour rolls over. 2 hour rolls over, you might go fill that gap. You might go like this. So seems like some volatility in this one. That's all you could say, really. As far as it goes, it looks like you're getting an hourly pullback. Looks like you're getting a 30-minute pullback, right? You're down by the center line, so if that curls up anytime, ooh, another big move may be coming for Lucy. Do I think the dollar has necessarily bottomed? No real signals here. We got a ton of divergences, by the way. So a ton of divergences in the dollar playing out to the downside. We'll see what happens from here. But I'd really pay attention if this daily rolls over today. If that daily rolls over, then the daily momentum is saying the dollar's going down. Tesla's about to be a monthly good investment, right? It literally is about to be. That's why I think this is kind of fishy. It's just like, that's really, really strong out the gate. But you see that sometimes, right? So if this curls up, that would tell me, hey, this might be a good investment, right? So I'm not counting it out by any means. It's curling above all the moving averages. Okay, you're curling up on the MACD. We got something to say here, right? Now on the weekly scale, you look at it, you're overbought almost, right? So the only risk you have here is if you start to turn around dramatically here and you go down like this, make that stronger base, right? So if this curls down, that's a bad thing. But look at that. It's pointing straight up right now. So look how this week completes, and then I think you'll know more about, like, hey, is that actually going to confirm, right? Because you have a whole month. That's the thing. This is why I'm saying it's getting too excited. Right now, it looks like a great bar. But if you really want the swing trade here, you got to make a bar like this. It's just happening 3 days into the month. So what you need to see is that to build back down, build back up, and then close at the end of the month like that. That would be a more convincing thing to me. Because if this just wicks out by the end of the month, you're kind of screwed. So that there's what I'm looking for. It's just weird to see that in this environment, but you gotta follow the signals. NVIDIA finally going down. On the daily scale, yes, it has gone down, which is nice. Because now you're in that pullback mode, right? It's just a pullback as of right now. Which is very, very good. Pullbacks are great. Then you see that, cross back up above these moving averages. You're starting to get tight here. Okay, maybe we need to go down and make a stronger base. That's all I'm saying. We could still see a couple days where we move sideways, keep this going down, and then that crosses back up. Okay, we load up more liquidity, pop up right above 125, and you're off to the races. So divergence here is what I'm really looking for from NVIDIA. And then I'm watching out for those earnings, man. It ends tonight. It ends tonight. Nicola. Not the best reversal signals here, but see monthly scale. Does this have divergence on? Oh, wait, it's too small. I thought there'd be some kind of divergence here. I think if that weekly turns up, you got a chance of recovering just a little bit. She goes, here, don't, she's, you know, she's like, Here's just a bagel. We need to go to the store. We ran out of eggs. She's like, here's a bagel. It's cute. Oh. Alright, now we're seeing some puts start to come in. Man. Oh, I like this song. You gotta spend some time, love. You gotta spend some time with me. And I know that you'll find love. I will possess your heart. Let me hold you, go caress my body. You got me going crazy. You turn me on, turn me on. The thing is, with the dollar moving down, usually we'd like to see if the market was heading higher, the dollar to head higher. So I wonder if it's that cost to borrow coming in a little bit. Seems like someone borrowed a bunch of cash. All right, I'm gonna eat my bagel. Let's go look at AMC for a second. That one's been looking good. It's that way. Oh. Daylight come and we don't wanna go home. Oh man, 15-minute, you look so pretty. Yo, I don't give a fuck. I love bagels. I will take a bagel. My wife tried to tell me about a schmear. I was like, I've never heard the word like, whenever I've bought a bagel, they're like, would you like to schmear it or something? I'm like, I have no idea what that is. What is it? What? 15-minute curl up, positive territory, first of all. Ooh, it's not the best look, but maybe we gotta zoom out on this. Overall, you're in a daily pullback still. Pulling back with time. Maybe a 4-hour looks kind of clean. I think 4-hour looks the cleanest. See if that thing can cross up. It looks like you're getting some trouble up here in this area. With the Ches. Ooh, completing on the 4-hour now for this. But yeah, that's what I'd say about that one. Just a 4-hour cross up. Looks like it may be a swing trade. Solid. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Amazon. What are you doing? And it took me by surprise when you let me inside of you. Oh, that's funny. Recipe gonna be 7K by the end of the year. I told you long ago on the road. Yeah, it's massive. It's just insane. But they'll convince you it's good. I'm very nervous for like the next 2-3 months. But doesn't mean I'm trading that way, right? I'm just trading the signals, so. Well, which one was it? Wasn't Apple? I think it was Google was the last one I bought calls in. Nice. McDonald's? I don't have it for JOBY. No, I do not. Hey, no, I go insane. Oh, McDonald's. Oh, McDonald's. Do you have at least something on the daily to show us? Daily divergence here for McDonald's. So when you see daily divergence, you just want to see, is the weekly going to turn back up? Okay, so the weekly could turn up for McDonald's for a little bit. We could see breadth come back into the market if things like this start to confirm up. But McDonald's, you see the daily divergence, see if that completes. That'd be a good scenario for this to go higher, and then you got to watch out for earnings. I don't care. Not looking good, brah. What is? It'll be the last, but it probably won't. Daily's starting to turn up. Still below the 200. That's what's problem. Oh. Put some sauce on it. Let's see what volatility's doing with this signal here. Very skeptical about everything right now because of volatility. I've studied volatility a ton. Been to every nation, nobody gonna. Whoa! 2 hour just crossed. See if that holds for an hour. Now we're seeing every stock run except for what? NVDA? So now it's gonna flip and NVIDIA's gonna start to run and everything else goes down, so the market stays higher? Is that what happens? Huh? 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 Alright, let me chill for a sec, I gotta eat this. Hey, thank you, Rick James. I appreciate that. Also, Rick James, great name. I'm Rick James. Yo, Tesla needs to like chill. It's almost a double bottom. Is the daily able to turn up now? Looks like some stuff you could look from an investment perspective. No real solid base, you get that lower high. And the roll about rolling down in the deep, and the day knows I'm in it. Yeah, it's just not enough data there, unfortunately. A guy actually noticed me yesterday when I was out and about. He was like, hey, I watch your videos. I was like, oh, cool. He was like, yeah, it seems really good stuff. I really like it. And I was like, okay, cool. And then he was just like, well, if you want a tip for your channel, whenever I buy something, just tell them to short it. I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I was just walking. We took baby girl, we got her a floaty, so we were trying her out in the pool. And so I was walking, and this guy was literally like, yeah, I love your channel. And he's like, trying to learn a little bit from it because whenever I buy something, it goes down, so you guys should short it. He goes, I'll tell you what I'm buying. I thought that was hilarious. Ignore the Disney thing at the bottom. Ignore that. We don't like Disney. L. That's divergence right there, though, for Disney. Are we about to see an actual, like, even higher blow off top? That'd be crazy. You've already blown off. You already came out the channel. You're blowing off top. And then if we get breath now, you're going to blow off even more. You're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. Yeah, but if you remember, like, I think it was just a few days ago, I said what I believe was going to happen is you're going to see certain, like, a bunch of stocks go down and just two of them make the market hold up. And then you're going to see the stocks that held up start to fall and the other stocks start to bounce. So it keeps you in this awkwardness. But all it's doing is building liquidity, so watch for a break, but we're not seeing anything fall too dramatically, though. I kind of like this setup. It's like anytime I take calls, I'm winning, and then I'm like, but like for some reason, I just like want to short something all the time. I'm like, I just want to short something. I'm glad at least my risk management came into play for Tesla, because I could have really, if I was like taking it based on, thankfully it's like reasons to take a trade usually convinces me of the position size. So I only had like one reason to take the trade for Tesla. So thankfully I didn't even use a full position size, but I really like the Microsoft look. I'm thinking about it. PCC back at 0.69. I don't use an indicator, I do the calculation. So you can literally type on Google like how to calculate an expected move in the stocks. And then you just got to figure out how to do the correct calculation. It took me a little bit of time to get like the correct implied volatility, what time of day to do it, all those types of things. But you just have to do the calculation. So I created a Google spreadsheet that I can plug the numbers in, plug in the implied volatility, and then I get it for all the stocks, because the actual calculation is better than what these platforms give you. They're usually off. The actual calculation's better. But it doesn't mean you have to crash down from these levels. It just means that's where you're going to maybe hesitate, kind of like Tesla. We showed you that, but in and out 1 minute plays for Tesla. It's just people think like because they have the calculation for the weekly moves, they're going to know exactly how to do it. I'm going to tell you, it took me a little bit to figure out. Now, maybe you're smarter than me, but maybe I read into it too much. But it's about finding the implied volatility at a good time after hours, and it's about, you know, making sure you're doing it not while the stock market's going, all things like that. Like some people try to make like a 3-day range, and it's like, yeah, you should probably do like when the market's just not trading on Sunday and stuff like that. Let's take a look. The logistic properties of Americas. Whoa. The hell? Some bad logistics. I mean, good, I don't know what you mean by necessarily good here. This looks awful. But if you know about it, you know about the perspective, you know about the numbers of the company, all that kind of stuff, everything to do with it. You just got to look at this and really be like, is this a good investment? Because I'm at lower levels. This would be a scenario to, hey, buy low, sell high. I get what you're thinking. But it hasn't given me any reversal signals yet. That's kind of my problem with it. And it doesn't have a lot of data behind it. So, hey, fun to impress. That looks like a pump and dump to me, doesn't it? See, like, that's a pump and dump. But it doesn't mean, like, it's not good. You just want to see if you get momentum to actually curl up, in my opinion. AMC, you're loading the boat. Oh, we're turning down. Are we turning down on a 2-hour? If we turn down on a 2-hour, that's not a good sign. See how that started to escalate now? So now you want to pay attention to it. To say it is going to, a little difficult. The 15 minutes very overbought. So this is saying it has a probability to. It's still positive, but you're overbought. So it's like, is that going to happen? You might want to pay attention to a 5-minute and see if that can curl up right here. Then you got a shot to go to 551, but this is all you're banking on, and I don't really do stuff based on a 5-minute chart. But that's what I would say. Like, if that wants to go to 550, 551, you gotta curl up on a 5-minute chart. Break down, not be. Oh yeah, what time does the market close today? Oh, 10:30? Nice. Okay, so we don't have much time. I'll just stay live the whole time. Bloody Valentine! Okay, got you. It's like noon. I'm down. I'll try to stay live the whole time. Budget. As long as you guys like the video. As long as you guys like the video, I'll stay. I'm like Austin Powers. I'll stay. I also like to live life dangerously. Danger's my middle name. I'm married to Lucy now. I have a wife too, Luke. Ah, congratulations! Hey, that's a fine thing to do, Gordon. I'm not hating on you for that at all. The weird thing is, you have a potential for one more turn down. I think this would be the scenario of like load the boat. You know, people saying load the boat. I think this 2-hour curling down, if that 2-hour curls down significantly and then you see that pop up at all, that might be your hey, load the boat moment type thing, right? But that's going to be me. If this goes like this and then goes like this, oh man, Ooh, I'm taking it. Why? Because I got a 2-hour giving me a higher low or even a double bottom or even a divergence down here. And I have a daily that looks like it really wants to curl up. So that's what I'll be doing. NVIDIA positive. Curling up on the 2-hour. NVIDIA. Watch out. NVIDIA up. AMC starts to fall, so NVIDIA can go up. And Lex to AMC Avenger. Thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate you being here today. Sorry, it probably wasn't the most helpful breakdown for LPA, but it's kind of like you got to know more about that. There's no necessarily really good technical indications there. More so just you want to see if that momentum's able to turn up. But, you know, buying low, selling high is never a bad strategy in my book. Oh, Nancy Pelosi pick. You're right. NVIDIA was the Nancy Pelosi pick, so that's starting to curl up. Nancy Pelosi knows. Losing my religion. SMCI still curling up, positive territory right above you. Gold. Why am I just... Meanwhile, volatility quietly not confirming more downside. Interesting. Very, very interesting. We'll see what's going on here. Oh, Dow. Dow backing off. Yeah, AMC is falling. AMC is falling. 30-minute pullback is still the scenario right now. This is TradingView. TradingView.com. And then I use the pretty much the basic package. That way I can just have these indicators. I'm a very simple trader. Yeah, TradingView is great. I really like it. Yeah, I just saw the Dow. I was like looking across and I was just like, my God, the Dow, what is happening here? I don't think you want to curl over here for the Dow. That's kind of worrisome. If the 2-hour curls over, as of right now, you'd say 30-minute pullback maybe, but you're building up a lot of liquidity. The cup and handle scenario is gone because of these moves here. So it's not looking too pretty for the Dow. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Everything seems to just play out to the upside over time, right? So, oh my gosh. And then you can see how you'd break down. You kind of were like left, head, right shoulder, left, head, right shoulder, breakdown. Wow. That is some structure there. I don't know how high it could go. You could create like weekly ranges and stuff every week to see if you see that pop. But overall, it's like, why did it pop back then? Like, I don't know enough about like why it popped back then. If it was just a new thing, if it's coming back, is it speculative? I just don't know enough about it. You know what I mean? 1075, I say that's good because it ran, right? So you're back down to levels where it could see a pop. How do I get it to show the MACD at the bottom? Yeah, we'll teach you guys how to do that in the course, but you just select indicators up here. You select this, MACD, moving average convergence divergence, right there. RSI, same thing, right? Relative strength index, right there, boom. Escalator down, escalator back up in 20 minutes. Did it really? A million nights just like this. Let's get down to business. Something's fishy, man. You're telling me because a price target of 260 was made by someone that this goes up? You're telling me deliveries are a little bit better? I'm just like, you know when your common sense kicks in and you're just like, what's the real move here gonna happen? A lot of calls coming in, Tesla popping dramatically. Tesla has the highest implied volatility for the entire month. Oh, it's an IPO, okay. I was asking questions you charge money for. No, it's wieldy. No, they're great questions. No. Don't ever say sorry for asking a question. I put the course out there, so hey, it's like, hey, if you want it, it's $100 right now. It's cheap. It's $100 right now. I try to make it affordable so anyone in the stock market can learn. I don't like these $2,000 courses that I've taken that have barely taught me really anything. I can only take away one or two things. So I compiled together exactly what I think is the most important things for traders to understand into one course. And so that's all. Like, don't feel bad about asking a question ever, Wieldy Dragoon. Never feel bad about it, because overall I want these videos to be like, if someone can't afford the $100, they're really needing their money in their pocket. Hey, you can, watch maybe 100 videos and then you can start to piece it together, but the course just makes it very clear. How long is the course? I think some people say it's around somewhere between, I would say it's overall 4 to 6 hours. I encourage a lot of the people who have done really well after taking the course have watched it multiple times. So you can watch it multiple times. It's not like it goes away. It's yours. And then if I add to it, you'll get that too. You'll get that stuff already. No extra charge on that. but we are coming out with a swing trading course just to make swing trading very obvious. It's going to be really cheap course because swing trading is a nice one to just know like when to get in, when to get out. So we're going to do that as well. But for now, learn that course that's out there now is everything you probably need to know to set yourself up to be a good trader, and then it's all on you. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm still looking at Tesla thinking to myself, do I want to reapply the position at this level? I mean, let me look how expensive it is. Let me see in my... $144, not bad. A little higher than I expected. I expect that to be lower. That's strange, it's not lower. I don't think I'm going to reapply the position because that's strange. Like, I expected to get that for like 80 cents a contract. So that's too expensive. I don't think I do it. I think I just leave it. I'd rather take the loss than put more behind it. Do you teach options? Well, we teach you about like how much to risk management in the options is the main thing, and like how far out of the money I like to buy. And then we teach you more so like when to do it, because the timing of it is very good. So once you learn about divergences and stuff, you'll realize that puts are a little bit cheaper once you see that divergence and things like that. You'll see them as traps. But yeah, we teach you kind of like where to look at. We just use Robinhood because most people do, so I use my fun account, Robinhood. And then right now, trying to use Thinkorswim. I just started converting over, what, maybe a month ago, month and a half, month ago. Someone brought it up, so I said I would try it. I like it. But their expected moves are off. They give you expected moves, and I'm like, those are off. They're not doing the overall calculation. It looks like an estimate. Hold on for so long. So be careful if you have someone that you're following that's like selling your ranges, if someone's selling them, and they have Thinkorswim, because they might just be selling you the Thinkorswim ranges, and they're not as accurate as they could be. Not saying they're bad, it just like I show you how to make them in Robinhood, they're not as accurate. You want them to be accurate, right? Because now we're getting above that range. So let's see what happens from here. Because if you do it on, say the Thinkorswim one might be like here or here. And then if you see that signal, you might be convinced, so then it actually does that, and then you're wrong timing. Oh, I beg and plead, singing. You are 30-minute pullback. That's what we're seeing, right? So what did we say? When this curls over, it means it's not the moment. Look at this, not the moment, right? We're gonna pull back, so we gotta wait for that thing to curl back up. Anytime Ari wakes up from a nap, Bruce is like, let me upstairs. Sorry about that, we had to, you know, keep these boys in check. When you have two 85-pound dogs, you gotta keep them in check. And then the old man's upstairs with Mama today. Oh, wow, pal. Alright, 30-minute pullback did look likely here. Let's see what this one's doing. I like this from AMD. That's gonna be too excited too fast. But it's like the option didn't get too much lower, so that's that implied volatility. She only loved me on a Friday night. What's going on with NVIDIA? You're seeing it pop. You're seeing Nancy Pelosi bought it. 2 hour curled up, positive territory could be there. Hey, look at that, positive territory curl up. So if that goes positive, you can see a big move from NVIDIA. I'm not seeing weakness right now. This indicator right here is telling me possibility to go positive, right? Good probability to go positive, very close to the center line. RSI already crossed up. You're crossing above the short moving averages. Now you just need the 50, and that is overall bullish. This is your first contrarian bullish indication. That goes positive, it's going to be bullish. So not saying it has to be. You still have 30 minutes left in this bar, but that's kind of what you look for a higher low. So the probabilities here are pointing towards NVIDIA going up. You treat and you love, love, love. That's what the indicators are telling you. Not my opinion, I'm just reading the indicator for you. Now you still got to pay attention to your risk at all times. 30 minute, that just now curled up as well. So you got a move coming here. And what do we say? Breakthrough, dip in, go. That's great. That is kind of confirming a higher low. But this hasn't completed yet. We'll see what happens. You took back 125. That's good. And you're not seeing this immediately go up. I'd like it to kind of fizzle out for a little bit, then break through. Start to close above this level. We said close above what? 126. What's the high here, or the close here? Close 126.80. Closes above that. Pretty damn bullish looking. How did Amazon do? Ooh, Amazon not showing the strength here. 2 hour curling down. There's your first signal here that you're going to see a big 2 hour pullback possibly. You know what I mean? It's like, that's saying pullback. Pullback. Just like over here, right? Just like up here, right? You got the little divergence up here that led to an elongated pullback. That's what this is saying right now. And then you just see if that curls up by the center line at some point. It doesn't have to be as choppy as back here. We could just see like... I was thinking about her, think about me, think about us, what we gonna be? This song makes me want to watch Pitch Perfect. I said it was only just a dream. We're getting too excited though. We're getting too excited. This is just squeezing, so there's something funky going on for sure. Everybody. Like volatility is just telling us something funky's happening here. Volatility is about to turn up, which is worrisome. SPY, not doing much. Qs though, keep just trickling higher. Very interesting market today. HYG, little pop from HGX. Volatility of volatility popping. But that there is what I'm really looking at. Crazy to see. Volatility does not mean downside immediately. They've made it harder to see these rigged moves. Because they're like showing the rigged behavior and then just not doing the rigged move. Make butter them ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. We're gonna see a 30-minute divergence here for Palantir. That'd be a good song. Yeah, it looks like the dollar's about to. That's why I keep popping over to it. I mainly just like scroll up and I see it was at 0.53. So I'm seeing if that ever goes to like 0.2 or something really fast. These yields really came down. Wait, okay, so this is something to think about here as well. Market will close early at 1 p.m. It closed at noon, but the data doesn't, the FOMC minutes doesn't come. Yeah, that's sketchy. So they're going to close the market and then release the FOMC minutes at 1. What? They're gonna close the market and then release the data. Like, I know it's regularly put out at 1, but you'd think they would match that in some way. It's Friday night. What are you guys chatting about? Yeah, so that's noon for me. So 1 p.m. Eastern time. That's noon for me. I know, yes. I'm like looking at it. I was like, because people were saying 1 p.m. and I was like, oh, they mean Eastern time probably, right? And I'm like, so they're literally going to show this spike down in yields. And then the FOMC minutes is going to come out and say, we're still holding higher for longer. We need more data. We need to react to the data, which we never fucking react to the data. They don't. And then they're going to possibly increase the yields while the market is down. And the reason it would increase is because now you're seeing it drop off, which means people might be thinking like, oh, we're going to get a rate cut. Then we don't get a rate cut, right? And Japan, I mean, I just looked at a little thing here as far as the USD to Japan. Like, that's probably not a good sign. Trying to sell my shit on eBay. Life's good though, you know? Life's good. Might go buy a shotgun this weekend. This week. Life's good. Maybe I'll do that today. What makes us happy? Interesting. Okay, so the Qs are heading up into the zone. Remember, this is where I said we got to be cautious here, guys. I'd be very, very cautious going to this level. We have a lot of calls coming into the market. Look at this. I would be pretty cautious about this area, right? That's what we said in the YouTube video last night. Doesn't mean something bad has to happen. It means this is where you start to be very, very cautious for the Qs. And that tells you to probably be cautious on every single tech stock right now. Now, maybe NVIDIA keeps popping. We'll see. But now we're starting to see things like Apple start to say, hey, I'm going to pull back on the 30-minute. We're seeing Tesla go up to higher levels, looking like it really needs some kind of pullback. It needs to digest. Amazon dropping off, giving us the 30-minute divergence. Boom. There you go. Awesome move from Amazon here to head down, curling over on the 2 hour, saying 2 hour pullback is the most likely scenario. Very interesting there. Meta starting to reject on the 2 hour. We'll see. 30-minute, is that crossing over? If the 30-minute cross over, bad sign for Meta as well. So let's just look through these tech stocks. As we look at this, it looks like a 30-minute pullback is necessary for Microsoft outside of the weekly expected move with a 2 hour divergence forming, not completed yet. But this is where you need to be a little bit more cautious with your upside plays. You're seeing Google trying to match the high, maybe making a double top. This could just roll over, and that would be a double top signal. If that is going to be cup and handle, then you're going to see that 30-minute curl down, curl right back up. Okay, so you got to be aware of that. But as of right now, the Q is heading to this level. It's just up too fast. It's way too fast. You're not healthy anymore at all. But this market hasn't really been too healthy the whole time on the daily scale. So overall, you would say if this wanted to, it just does this, bases out, goes again, just like Tesla was doing. So we'll pay attention to it, but Apple's starting to go a little bit negative now. Tesla's still ripping. NVIDIA curled up on a 2 hour. AMD looks like it might need a pullback as well. Netflix really showing some flagging, right? So we could be getting something here. We'll pay attention to it, right? Curling up, positive territory could be there. So like this here, it looks like double top. We'll see what happens. If that starts to fail, I'd say hourly turns down. That's not a good sign. But right now, it's all positive, right? I don't want to get you confused. That's a 2 hour curling up in positive territory. So you have to be aware of your risk right now. I still think there's more potential for a big drop than a big pop. But as the SPY just keeps confirming higher, right? If that can confirm higher, we'll go up a little bit. I'm just saying this is too excited. Hips and desire with the swing of your hips. I think this is too excited. We need a base out. We need some kind of healthy pullback. Just a little one, tiny one, even with time. This is too fast. AMSC. It's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. We gonna sip a Bacardi like it's your birthday. I think you have the right mindset there. 30-minute going crazy. If that could turn down, then turn back up, that'd be a little safer on the shorter time frames. 2 hour though, you're curling up positive territory, but you're getting overbought. So your thinking is correct, being like, am I a little bit late? You want to see the daily turning up? Okay, the daily can take over here, right? So I'd pay attention to what this looks like for the next couple of hours. And we're going to stay live the whole time. Because I had to get off early yesterday, so fuck it. We're going live the whole time. So like for the fact that we're going to be live until the close today, which is noon. Sound of my heart goes beat on and on and on and on and. But this one here, it is a daily swing trade. This is a daily swing trade. This is a daily swing trade. So if this curls up, like this is your first indication that it's happening. The RSI is above the center line. This is curling up above all the moving averages. This is a sign of positivity, just so we're very clear. 4 hour down by the center line. Look at that. There was your swing trade position. Now you see if that confirms. Upside looks kind of likely here, doesn't it? So technically, if you're late to the move, I would say, yeah, you are a little bit late, but the probabilities here say eventually we're going to test this high, go make a new one if this crosses over. So it just depends on how you think about it. We got to teach you guys that swing trading because that'll get you in at the right times. You're gone, girl. Ooh, Jeff Bezos has been selling all year, by the way. I pulled up his SEC filings, like he literally is selling all year long. Yeah, it's so I can listen to music. That's why, sorry if I randomly sing, it's just a habit of mine. ADHD, I kind of just like sing at random times. Keeps me in a good mood. I like mashups. Right now I'm listening to Big Booty Mix 20. It could be Hector. Could be that rug pull setup. We'll see. But right now we can't say, we don't want to say coulds and stuff like that too much because the markets just continue to go higher. right? Markets just continue to go higher over time, so we don't necessarily ever want to be like, oh, this is a rug pull moment, unless we're seeing rug pull behavior. Are we seeing rug pull behavior? Well, in order to see rug pull behavior, the dollar should be going up while the market goes up. That's not happening, right? So that would tell me, unless this is just a completely rigged move to push the market higher, and then they literally leave you with the bag, right? They buy into the move to push it higher and then sell it to everyone else, and then boom, this thing just takes off. So, but the daily is what I'm worried about. See that daily crossing over right here? That could tell us we have bullishness to come for a little bit of time here, right? What if we want to dip all the way down on the daily? This is performing way differently than in history, I'm gonna tell you that. Oh, this is a... Why is Ryan Cohen just always trending on my shit? Whoa. Whoa. This is one of the ones that's pretty tied to the GME and AMC thing, so to see that one rip, that's crazy. Wow. You even got the signal right here. This is a terrible bar, but there's your swing trade. Wow. Oh God, that makes me so nervous now. Because we're hitting high levels while that's happening. Oh no. So now it's like SPY's gonna hit the daily while the Qs hit their daily because they're already outside the weekly. Or SPY can hit the weekly while the Qs hit the top of the daily expected move here. And she got a body. Let me get a body. So if this turns down anytime on the 2 hour, something bigger might be happening here. Epstein? What the frick? What is this? Damn. People are borrowing money right now. For 82. Someone out there going, someone out there's like, oh my God. I love Twitter sometimes. Someone's like, oh my God, is this MOAS? GME is up by 0.21%. If you don't mind. 2 hour hasn't crossed, but we'll see what happens in this last 2 hours here. When you lead my mind. I've been double out in hotel rooms. What are you guys chatting about? Hey, Decide Z-Dep, thank you so much for the $4.99. Can we take a look at Tesla? I was up over 100%, but I held too long. Now I'm stuck. You're stuck? Were you in the upside? How are you stuck? Step bro, tell me how you were stuck. We'll look at volume in a sec. Let me see. It looks like almost a triple top on this on the S&P 500. But thank you so much for the $4.99. Just let me know, how are you stuck necessarily? Did you try to take a short, like a small play here or something? Keep holding. Well, the thing is with this, you would want to look at the daily scale and say, does this look like it is hitting levels where it would pull back, right? Like, it doesn't have to, like, right? It can keep going. You just want to see your risk, how much time you have to ask for expiration, how fast the move is. It's like if you'd have bought down here, technically this run took you all the way back up, but this was back in 2023. That was at the bottom. So from the bottom here to the top, you went up 110%. Do I think the main thing here, this is the best way to explain it. I'll show you on my other chart. And thank you so much. It just popped up. Thank you for the donation. This right here is what I'll do to help you out. So according to my charts, according to the options market, right, we are outside of a weekly. We are outside of a monthly. That means Tesla is up higher than any of the options market expected, which it had a bunch of implied volatility already, and it went higher than that. Okay, so that tells me anything above this is unexpected. So yeah, that can continue. But as of right now, me as a trader, when I see a move like this, I'm just telling you what I like to do. I like to look at the MACD and say, okay, that is going way higher. That is extremely overbought, and we're outside of a monthly expected move 3 days into the month of July. So that tells you, you do have a 68% chance to land right there down towards like $227.45. You have a 68% chance to land below that line by the end of the month. So I would say if you have some good profits and things like that, awesome, looks great. That's all I can tell you. But make your decision, and the course will teach you a lot about these expected moves. If the whole options market, the market maker, doesn't expect this, then this is something unexpected that you can maybe benefit from right now. Make some money, right? So that's all I would say. Up here, it's a place where I like to take profit, but doesn't mean something crazy can't continue. I'm still thinking this thing might have some weakness in it by the end of the month and close back below 227.45. Because you have a long time. You have almost the whole month to end up going lower now. So I won't be convinced that this is going to go absolutely higher the entire month of July now. I just can't. I hope that was helpful. I really do. Okay, good. I'm glad you said thank you, because at least that means it was semi-helpful. No, the monthly ranges are what implied volatility was there going into the beginning of the month. They do not adjust. If you start adjusting them, you're going to be making a 3-week range, a 2-week range, a 1-week range, right? So the reason that you make them at the beginning of the month is to see the equal distribution, the normal distribution going into the first of the month. That's why you create it then. You look at what people are expecting before it starts. And now this is what people were expecting before it starts. This is more than what they were expecting, which tells you you're seeing something crazy happen. I have a put option for Tesla for a month. Yeah, once you take the course, you'll learn more about these ranges and understand them a little better. It just takes a brief explanation, like that is very clear cut, and I just draw it out for you to explain it real quick, just to tell you it's a normal distribution. So technically, if you're looking at a normal distribution, you actually technically, we got to say technically here, you have a 68% chance to land in these yellow lines, right? Did I just move that? No, I didn't. Okay, you have a 68% chance to land in this zone. You have a 32% chance to see something crazy, which actually means you have a 16% chance to see something crazy up here. So actually, for the entire month for Tesla, you have a, what is that, 84. You have an 84% chance to land back below this line, because you have an 84% chance to do, you have a 68% chance to do this, but you also still have a 16% chance to do this. Isn't that crazy? Now this is like very limited right now. This is very low likelihood to happen as of right now because you're up higher. But that is the truth with normal distribution. So technically, you have a big percentage to drop from here once you get outside of that monthly expected move, because you have a lot of time. It's not to say Tesla can't do something like this. It can hold up right here. You want to pay attention to your signals, right? We could turn up again. We could keep going. I'm not saying it's bearish by any means. I'm just telling you the probabilities based on the weekly ranges. Expected daily move today for the SPY. There you go. So let's see if that 5-minute thing kind of works out, right? 5-minute curled up. Ooh, not the most. Was it 552? Why do I feel like this is I thought it was 550. Oh, the daily expected move. I'm still on, am I on my other charts? What the hell? Yeah, I'm still on my other charts. I don't have the daily. Boys, stop. Oh, I need to pull those up over here though. If you notice on my charts, I don't pay attention to daily expected moves. If I just had my charts up, I don't pay attention to daily expected moves. Did you notice that? All right, 5 minute turns up, positive territory is there. We can make a move towards 551 now. But the Qs, sketchy time to be alive, man. Brand new whip just hopped in. I got options, especially at Stockton. Oh. No, but of them toxin. Ooh, hey, what's in the top 10? I can put the ball in the end zone, be the bad bitch in the friend zone. Hey, ooh. Yeah, you might have a 5 minute, but you're gonna in a squeeze. You're gonna see a lot of 5 minute divergences. The main thing that I'm trying to get across is just the fact that you're way outside of a weekly, you're way outside of a monthly, very early on in the month. So I probably will buy a couple more contracts. Yeah, it's not the best divergence. You actually had a better one maybe here on the RSI, but you're just moving sideways. Now you're starting to actually move down a little. We'll see. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. But yeah, it's just, it's not a lot of technicals here besides it really needs a 30-minute pullback. And you're likely, because this is very, very positive for this just to be a pullback. You could use that monthly, go up like this, then you see this, and then like on the 9th or halfway through the month, then we start to actually pull back. Very bullish move from Tesla. That's the most likely thing there. Wing 2 hour? Ooh, it's a pretty good spot. Now, it's not necessarily the like cleanest looking divergence because you're actually higher than the next point, right? So this point's the highest point of the closing bars. This point's a little higher, but that is a dramatic downside move. You're not able to get overbought again once you get up there. So I would probably consider this divergence, but just to let you know, this isn't a clean divergence, right? Because this is the highest closing bar. This right here is the highest closing bar. See how that's still coming down while this is coming down? But you would say this is curling back. If that goes negative, it's not going to be a good thing. As of right now, is it breaking down? Not necessarily. So we'd really want to say, okay, there is potential weakness, potential to go into negative trend. If that turns back up, all right, crosses back up, we have ourselves a swing trade. Maybe we actually head higher and this was all some kind of cup and handle. You have to be aware of both sides, but you'd want to also look because you got a 2-hour to cross over. It's going negative, or it's trying to go negative. Daily, is that going to cross over? Once that daily crosses over, you might see a pullback. Now, the support that we found in the past, that we said, hey, I think this is where we said if you break through that, it's going to be a good sign. Okay, we were able to break through that. Now I think this looks like a likely pullback that leads into maybe another bounce higher if we're going to talk about the bullish case. If we're talking about the bearish case, you got a bunch of divergences here, right? You have a bunch of divergences that can start to roll you down. So let's look at the weekly because the daily looks like it could cross over the weekly. Weekly's already crossed over, about to reject. Maybe that's going to lead into a bigger overall pullback. We'll see what happens, but that's how I see it right now. Daily crosses over. That's when the real weakness comes in my point of view. Definitely learning a lot here. Yeah, I like to really describe how I'm going about things, so you can see how I analyze something. Sometimes I do it quick. Sometimes I'm like, hey, yeah, this is how you want to do it. You want to see a daily that looks like it's about to cross over. This is a great one to find, yes. I actually really like it. I think it's a cool look. but I'm worried about one more cross up because of the cup and handle, right? But I want to find a daily that's about to cross over, and I want to say, okay, is the 2 hour creating the divergence? Is that confirming? That's not necessarily divergence. So maybe I'm looking for something like that. Just something like that, right? But if that daily crosses over, I can take it. I can manage the trade. We teach you how to do that in the course too. Let's look at ARM first, then I'll pop over to silver. Okay, William? ARM popping up, 2 hour cross up, positive territory. So now we got to look, daily scale, did it have divergence? Not necessarily, but you could create that one right now. This was an overall pullback. Now you're confirming upside. The casino, we know. A little test of the 20, solid. Now you cross up. Okay, positive territory can be there. Look out for divergences. I think this will be brief, to be totally honest. Because the 4 hour is going to create the clear divergence. So once you see like wonky stuff on a 2 hour, look at the 4 hour. It could do this, curl down. Oh yeah, we're going. Oh, take out the stops. Everyone's screwed, right? That's what I think to look out for here is a divergence on the 4 hour. Now, in order to find those divergences, a lot of the time you'll make a 30-minute in the nearest price action. So if we see a good upward move, this is a good upward move. What if we curl back down, curl back up, and then we see this happen? That would be great. That would be an indication of weakness on an early time frame. Then you see the weakness on the 4 hour. Hey, you're welcome, Hector. Hey, happy 4th of July to everyone. I hope it's explosive for all you AMC and GME holders. I hope it's explosive. Not really right now. Kind of explosive in the wrong way right now. So you got to see if this 2 hour is crossing over. QQQ for Friday. It would make sense. Just know, like, if you close at these levels, let's look at a 30-minute here. If you close at these levels, okay, you'll get new ranges that will be like this, right? So if we close at that level, that's the type of range you're looking at most likely for the daily on Friday. So what you'd like to see is, boom, this hits there, you start to see weakness, and then you get a range that's like this again, and then you can play that downside range. That's more so how I would, how I have day traded. Third divergence for Meta. Oh yeah, we got to look at silver. Yeah, so the 2 hour hasn't fully curled up. Still paying attention to the 30-minute crossing down here, because you do have some structure to head down. So I'm just looking if that 30-minute crossover first, because that's going to be easier to see. And then I want to see if that 30-minute crosses down, crosses back up. That'll kind of signal to me, yeah, the 2 hour is going to pop again. So, hey, that's all right. 14% solid, though. All right, yeah, let's go back over to silver real quick, because someone asked about that a little bit ago. Not necessarily explaining the gap up, but more so just saying, hey, the swing trade told you. So this is why we need to get the swing trade out. It's just because there are times where you get these really close to the center line, and then you get one bar that closes above the 20 and the 9, and boom, you see that. So I'll mention this in the course. When they bundle up like this, the shorter moving averages bundle up like this, that's when you can see, boom, a little pop, because you get above all those. That's a very bullish signal. So there you go. You get above all of them. The last thing, the RSI crossed up the center line, but the last thing to cross was the MACD. That's crossing now. But look, it's at the top of the Bollinger. So maybe I want to wait for a 30-minute pullback before I do anything, right? So 30-minute, pretty cooked. So if this is going to pull back in any way, that would be great. Pull back like this, then curl up, and then you just want to make sure there's no divergence forming in that curl up and you're confident in the trade. Very cool. I like that. No, let me chug some coffee. Oh God. God, I should not have put Irish whiskey in my coffee this morning, I tell you. If unemployment comes out strong, what do you mean by strong? Do you mean higher or lower? Because strong could indicate like good or bad. So I just want to be clear, Mark. Then you thought you're falling apart. Yo, Juice WRLD. RIP. God, God, I want to go buy a shotgun today. That sounds so fun. I've never shot a shotgun. Tesla is hilarious today. It is. And I'm telling you, like, you can see major profit taking in these type of things because you're outside of a monthly move way too fast. So you can see major profit taking. It doesn't mean it has to break down fully, but this 30-minute pullback could be a 30-minute fucking pullback. The most likely scenario is if people don't take profit, that could hold up right here. I think we go fill this gap and then we see what happens if we're able to turn back up, right? But because you're somewhere very unexpected, you can get one bit of selling can cause more selling for people to take more profit. Boom, that heads down. Also, you're looking at options on Friday too. Like, I'm not saying this isn't bullish. Very bullish. But to say like this is healthy, a little bit different. But to say that it reacted how we would expect based on those weekly and monthly expected moves, that's the good part. You guys know the points to pay attention. Weekly move was right here. What did we do? We moved sideways with time, popped up. Monthly expected move was right here. We moved sideways, popped up. That's exactly how it should behave around those ranges. So very, very cool, man. What the FAMC? You guys got to make sure to remember 30 minutes. 30 minutes, I said. I've researched this to a T. Anytime the 30-minute curls over, that means it's not the moment. Okay, it curled over right here. So what you're looking for now is that 30 minutes to turn back up. You need that to turn back up. Like, why is this going down? I don't know, but all I know is this. The 30-minute momentum said pullback, and that's what you're getting right now. So see if that turns back up. Yeah, I know. We have a shortened trading day. I wonder what the volume's like today, too. Is this just light ass? Is this just terrible volume? We're in the place to be a little bit worried. Oh, man, that volume is, that volume. Yeah, you're gonna have shit volume today. Just wait. What if volume comes back in on Friday or next week? Sketchy, sketchy. Let's see that AMC volume with that downturn. Ooh, lower than yesterday, but the bar is bigger, so. GME, very, very low. This is like the first time in a long time that AMC and GME don't have more volume than the market. You love light down. Ooh, Mara. Mara, look at that. Gets to our zone. Now this could, no, it's not going to be cup and handle. Never mind. Screw it, I just said. That's not cup and handle. Okay, this here, I want to look for a 4-hour. If that 4-hour turns up, this looks good for Bitcoin, but as it starts to reject, we'll see what happens. Do I think Tesla could see a drop? Yeah, I think you pretty much have like a 68% chance for Tesla to drop below what was it? 220? About 220. So now that you've done this, you got to be like, okay, come on. Come on. 30-minute curls down, at least a 30-minute pullback. And then if unemployment came out higher, 4.2 higher last month, what will happen to the dollar? Well, it depends on how that's actually, read into by the market. So if they read into it, there's two ways, because people are conditioned now to believe that bad news is good news. You're conditioned. It's all conditioning. This is all psychology. They put you through a market for years that convinces you that bad news is good news all the time, right? But eventually, we know that the big things to pay attention to are unemployment rate and bank failures. Those are what you really need to pay attention to, not the CPI, not this crap. Like, CPI can affect the market, but we've had high CPI readings. The market's never crashed. So what you need to pay attention to is eventually bad news becomes bad news again because something breaks in the system because of it. Major unemployment will be due possibly to bank failures. Right now you have commercial real estate, all these kinds of things that are in some big, big trouble. A lot of banks underwater, including Bank of America. Like, the Bank of America is even in trouble here. So, which probably shouldn't surprise too many people. But it still means to me bank failures could lead to unemployment, which could lead to a drastic increase in unemployment with some kind of recession or depression. So you just want to pay attention if that is ticking up, because it could be read in the market as good news initially, but once it scales up too much, it becomes very much weakness and deflationary event. So overall, it's if unemployment ticks up way higher soon, like I would say above 4.5, that's probably when we're going to see some real big pain start to show itself in the market. And you might see, we could see a random event at any time. There's literally, if you just click around and read for like this is one of the only times in history that I've seen where we have potential for like 6 black swans in the next year or by the end of 2024, all piled up together. It's like you have a Biden administration that probably doesn't want to relinquish power to Trump. You have elitists possibly building internment camps all around the world right now for whatever reason. You have the conditioning of COVID, which apparently they're trying to say bird flu, and there are countries that have not seen one case of bird flu who are taking vaccines for it already. Like, all those things added together, and then you have commercial real estate problems. You have a housing bubble. You have all of these things happening at the same time. It's like if one pops, the rest start to pop. It's kind of like, you ever see like in a I don't know, you played Call of Duty or something, you see like, I don't know, 5 or 6 things of explosives packed by each other, right? 5 or 6 explosive boxes. You shoot one, what happens? They all blow up. That's what I think is maybe going on. But as far as it goes for unemployment this week, you got to read into how the market is reading into it. Are they seeing it as a good sign to fight inflation? Or is it seen as, holy shit, unemployment is going up? That was kind of a rant. Sorry about that. That was kind of a rant. My bad. We have 10 in Chile. Yikes. You guys are just better than us at that, you know? What's up? I'm not awakened, I'm sleeping on. Look at that. We're in the area where weakness will most likely come. And look at this. The dollar just slowly creeping. We'll see if that's able to see a big move. But volatility turned back up. This is what I was kind of looking for. 15-minute curled back up. So volatility not ready to drop down any more than where it's at right now. Yeah, exactly. That's why we have seeds. That's why I have 2 cases of water in my car at all times, just in case. And that's why I have a contingency plan with my buddy. And I'm dead serious. I think if they let the politicalness get to everyone and start to pit people against each other, it's not a good thing, man. And I'm aware of it. I'm not saying I wish it to happen. I'm not saying I think it's going to happen right away. I'm just saying the timing of it to happen would be, if they really don't want Trump in, then before Trump gets in, or in that 5-month period before the transition of power happens, I'll be on my edge of my seat a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Oh, UVXY right here. That's not a bad level. QQQ probably went nuts right here. Why? I'm worried. Yeah, a lot. Ugh. It's just like, I get that it's very bullish and things can come back in, but it's like if things just start to roll over, we might actually see the pullback we've been waiting for. That's all. And then I think we do try to go a little higher, maybe. La 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 la. How much was this pullback? 6%. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I hope that was helpful, Mark. I know it was kind of like a little bit of a rant in there, but to clear it up, it's just how does the market react? Do they react as it's a good thing because of inflation going possibly down because of unemployment, or is it a bad thing? Also, I know it's crazy, but it's like you have to see why unemployment is going up too. Like unemployment going up because people are leaving their job to get a new job could cause inflation to increase, actually, because that would mean people are leaving their job because of wages or something, and they might have to increase wages in order to hire those people. So the why unemployment's going up does matter. If it's because of bank failures, deflationary event. But if it's because they're leaving their job to find something better paying, it actually can cause more inflation in the market over time. Kind of crazy to think about, but I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo, solo. All right. Yeah, and it makes like the crazy part for me is, and I know I'm maybe a tinfoil guy a little bit, but I think that there are elitists around the world, and I think that they are setting up to do something because they're not happy about Trump coming in, and they think they're smarter than the average person or the average American. And I think the only thing that politicians always get wrong is the strength of the average American, actually. Like the only thing always standing in their way is Americans, like our Americans, and like Americans making smart decisions. Like they want a bunch of illegal immigrants to come in because they know they'll go into Texas and places that are overall maybe even Trump supporting, right? And then what does Texas or Florida do? They send them to blue states pretty much. So I think that that's funny because I think they just underestimate. I think they think they're smarter than everyone. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think that you guys are dumb by any means. I think you're actually probably smarter than the politicians that are doing all these things. You're probably smarter than the average institutional trader because this is all rigged in their favor, right? That's what I think. Not to compliment you guys too much. You just got to learn how to play the rigged game, and then you're in. Dow dropping off here. I really want to see this 2 hour when it turns up. That's what I'm worried about for Friday. Peter Nilsson, thank you so much for joining. You joined during one of my rants. I'm sorry about that. If Peter, if you got a stock you want me to look at, I'll look at a stock for you, buddy. Bitcoin now down 3%. Oof, pound. I can on my mind. It's just insurance, but you'll still buy it just in case. All right, let's go look at some GME and AMC for a little bit. Let's see what's happening with these guys, right? Let's do something that's moving a little bit in the opposite direction of everything else. Just remember, market super bullish, which just means AMC GME gonna still be a fight. 30-minute curls over for GME, not the moment. Curls down, see a divergence, might be the moment if that thing confirms back up. You'd really like to see it close to the center line go positive. Right now it went positive, but it's struggling right as it goes positive. Not a good sign. AMC, a little wick there. The crazy part was that AMC's been going up and 85% of the trades aren't even going into the stock and it's still going up. That's so crazy. 85%. 15% of the trades are hitting the lit market. That's it. And it's still able to go up. That's crazy. Yes, I got you, babe. Well, there's a lot that could happen before, but the thing is, what I was trying to get at with the whole Call of Duty, like when a piece of TNT box, a box of TNT is right next to another one and another one, it's if one thing blows up, multiple blow up, right? So you could see a time where it's like illegal immigration increases to levels, right? To where they say, we've lost control. And then all of a sudden they put martial law in. And then all of a sudden they say, we're not going to have an election. And then they all of a sudden have to say the next thing. And then they say, go into the internment camps. And then they say, get this vaccine. Then they say, oh no, there's a disease spreading. I think all these things could happen at the same, like all in a line, like dominoes. And that's just my just in case mind thinking, my protective mind thinking, because I've researched a lot into it, and it looks like they're ruining the dollar at the same time. So they're using the currency that's used all around the world for a long time to go more and more into debt, to then build things with taxpayer dollars, give Ukraine a bunch of money to build nightclubs, and buy Bugattis. It's just like, they don't care about our dollar, but we do, because we're average people. So I think all those types of things could start to happen sometime between now and when Trump actually gets in office, if he's elected. And it's not to say it has to happen. It says, I'm going to be the guy that thinks as if it could happen, just like I am in trading. I always think of what could happen. Remember, I relate everything back to trading. So if I say, hey, the 2 hour for GME has this divergence and curled up in positive territory, but if it could turn down on a 30-minute, which means that is going to make the 2 hour curl down. So I want to wait till that turns back up. I'm doing the same thing with my charting that I do in real life. I'm doing the same thing in real life that I do with charting. I just pay attention to what could happen, because there's a lot of people that have made a lot of money in the stock market by just doing something that is being unexpected. So I think we're in for a rough time. That's what I think, and that's why I'm acquiring a lot of firearms, just in case I need to protect my family. My dad isn't even one of those guys, and he's still, just as a basis, he has guns, right? So, like, think about that too. Why are they trying to disarm you when it's always a person with a gun doing a good thing? My friend came up to me and he said, you know, I'm scared of guns. I go, well, you shouldn't be scared of the gun. The gun's not going to do anything. It's just going to sit there. You should be scared of the person behind the gun. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure some people in here think differently, and that's perfectly fine. We just have a difference in opinion there. That's why I will not, like, thankful for Kansas, because it's just like a carry state. You just go, you buy it, you get cleared, right? You have to give them your ID, you get cleared, background check, you got it. That's why I like it. We're just watching GME for a second to see if this 30-minute can curl back over. It's curling down right now. So that would tell me this is going to be a pullback. Now, I wonder what happens by Friday, because we do have Roaring Kitty, who posted the whole the emojis, right? Did I take a picture of that? Screenshots. Let me see if I have a picture of it. So we do have this going on, which this is the American flag and announcement. So I actually think there might be an announcement on the 4th of July. That'd be interesting. So just be wary. It's like, I'm doing an options trade with this stuff, but because of all this stuff happening right now, I'm most likely just going to let those options by the end of the month expire worthless if they're going to. So swing trading is going to have to be a separate thing, but I'm going to make it pretty cheap. It's only going to be like $50 or something. Like, it's probably going to be worth like $500, but I'm going to make it $50 because swing trading is very simple. And if you took the first course, it's going to come at you like a breeze. It's just to clear it up and tell you exactly how to do it. I just don't want people to get it confused. It is a separate thing. It is a separate thing. You have to know what kind of market you're in. You have to know what stock you're looking at, all kinds of things like that. So one of them, for example, that we're going to probably use to talk about it, I actually like Palantir's look here. I really like this swing. So it's a good swing because it tells you how to manage risk too. It's like, okay, right here, how close are we to crossing? Pretty far, but you could say take a chance. If you took a chance there, it'd say, hey, okay, get out. You could be going negative. Okay, we turn back up. Right here was the bar. So that's a very simple one there. Yeah, Charles, I hope that's helpful. It's just, I want to keep that first course just like what it's supposed to be, everything you need to know, and then swing trading itself will be like a separate thing. But a lot of people charge $2,000 to get a swing trading course, and I'm like, really? You really want to help people by making a course? Then probably don't charge them a huge amount. I want everyone to be able to learn. Well, I'll try to get that out soon because you can swing trade the downside as well. So if there is a downward move, we can teach you how to do that. It's a little bit harder, quicker. You got to be quicker, but you got to wait, got to be patient. All those things are going to be talked about. And we're still going to put the MACD and RSI stuff and divergence stuff maybe in there as a refresher for people. It's literally going to do it. Ah, it's going. All right, GME. I'm going to watch this for the next bar. Let's watch GME for one more bar. Remember, 30-minute crosses over. It means not the moment. I've researched it to a T. Can't wait for that, buddy. Thanks. Yeah, I'll try to work on it very quickly then, Charles. Because it seems like you want that. So it's like, okay, I'll try to get it pumped out. I kind of haven't written out what I want to go in it. I need to do... Because I gotta think, I probably still have to explain what you have to use because you're using MACD, RSI, and it's more around moving averages. So it is a little different. You're gonna use the moving averages, these lines. You're gonna use these moving averages a little bit more, but so we'll have to go over those a little bit more, but the course that's out now pretty much gives you all the info you need to start to trade in any kind of market. That's why I like that one. But if people really want specifics on swing trading, so I'll do it. Me, I am a Britney, bitch. Mohammed, thank you for taking the course. Taking it early this morning. Sorry, WAP was playing for a second, and I was like, haven't heard that in a minute. What the hell? I don't even like that song. Roaring Kitty, why is he trending? They're saying the media's posting that AMC could go bankrupt. I just don't think they get it. Like, they're making good money now. Theaters are coming back. I think we might get a portfolio update tomorrow from Roaring Kitty for 4th of July. That's how, like, I'm trying to read into things a lot more simply with Roaring Kitty, and so far, he's doing a lot of, like, I made my plan if I was trying to make the problem happen. He added something to it, but this here, if you just read into it very simply, it means 4th of July announcement, or do we have the 4th of July and then announcement, and then watch next week? That's kind of how I read into it. Yeah, QQQ is at the expected move now. We'll see. We're seeing something crazy. See what happens around that move. 4% up. Yeah, you saw that curl up of the MACD on the 2 hour, and that's all it needed. Curled up right here. More positivity is coming. So now you got to really start to watch that daily, see if that's able to rotate back up now. Interesting. Oh. Options are closing soon. Oh, okay. We're just watching on a 5 minute. We don't do analysis too much on the 5 minute, but that's right. That's like the highest you're supposed to go for the week and day. Broadcom pushing. Well, Nancy Pelosi bought it, so. Wait, Broadcom's what she bought, right? Now let's look at the SPY. Where's the SPY at with this? Still a little bit higher to go. So sometimes you'll see like Qs go past it, the SPY hits this. Just depends what is going to hold as resistance at this point. Dollar, that's not a spike there. That is not a spike. So this buying does make a little sense. Took profits on my NVIDIA short. Hey, congratulations if you were able to make some profit there before that big push from NVIDIA. Let's go, William. Fall that line, don't be ever high and take it on and on your stride. It is aching for enough. I got scared. It sounded like someone was here. I was like, someone's here. Grab the gun. No. 154. Let's see here. We're blowing past it, so maybe the SPY needs to run into its move. We still have room to go higher because the SPY's not hitting it at the same time. This is the exact scenario where I was like, this is where I think the market might be in trouble now. Like, this is too much too fast. It's not healthy now. Now the pullback can be more dramatic. Yeah, tell me it's bouncing, tell me it's up and down. VVIX popping. Volatility starting to turn back up. We'll see. Dow not confirming it. I mean, the yields are coming dramatically down, right? The yields are coming dramatically down. Say that again. The yields are coming dramatically down. IWM is coming down. It did break out of the bearish downtrend. It could be a reversal, yes. Yes, this could be a reversal. I'm just saying this is happening very early on in the month. So you have a lot of probabilities pointing for downside, but it is breaking through. Look at that. That's a good sign for Tesla. I'm just saying it might need to reload first, right? You might need to reload. Use that monthly to then head higher. Then I'd be convinced it's going to go higher. But for now, this is 3 days into the month. My dog just picked up his bowl. Let me give him some water real quick. Be back in 2 seconds. I'm still in the room. I'm still here. I'm still here. Okay, guys, you need some water? All right, British. All right. Thank you for telling me. Turns into gold. Whoa, wait a second. What the? Wait. What the? Wait a second. Yo. Wait a second. Wait. Did anybody hear my wife come down? Did my wife come down while I was gone or something? What the fuck is this? When did this get here? It's still kind of warm. You guys, I'm freaked out right now because I did not see her come down and put this here. It's a breakfast sandwich. Like, what the frick happened? That's so weird. NVIDIA, I'm gonna be happy. Don't it against me. Oh, D'Amelio girls. She said hi? Okay, good. Did she really? That's cute. That's cute. That's cute. I was like, what the fuck? How did this sandwich pop up here? It's like whenever I put a new dippy in, food just magically appears. Oh, you're kidding? Well, she must have came down here at some point. When the fuck did that sandwich get here? Yo. I don't know if I was in the zone or something with you guys, but oh yeah, let's say GME, by the way. I don't like a boyfriend. Oh wait, girlfriend. Oops. I guess it's good I said boyfriend, not as gay. I think it closes in like an hour, Diana. Solid. Anytime, Diana. I've had to ask people like 4 times. They need mayo? Oh, I'll give them some mayo. Eh. 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 I sound like my friend's hedgehog. You guys know that hedgehogs like masturbate? That's what they sound like. Eh. 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 Come on. Come on, AMC. Here you go. Weird. 1 p.m. Eastern, so yeah, an hour. PCC is still low, man. A lot of calls coming in before the Friday, and we have a day gap. I don't like the look. So I'm kind of chilling on the sideline, just like holding on to my shit option for Tesla, see if I could break even on that tonight. You shorted S&P? I mean, I get it. I get it, man. You're getting up towards that area where it's looking pretty juicy. Q's way too excited. Way too excited. No selling allowed. That's just a crazy move. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's no way they did this and they're just gonna rip it away from everyone on Friday with the gap, like the day gap. You have calls really low. They were really low, right? Down towards 0.60. Then you have volatility saying like, hey man, watch out. I still could bounce from here, 2-hour divergence. Then you have the dollar that's starting to climb again. Oh God. It's just not as clear this time as it was last time. Like, See if Microsoft does something too. Microsoft looks solid for a 2-hour pullback now, or actually 2-hour reversal in trend, so a daily pullback. Break your heart, there's a mechanism called to service love. All right, 30-minute did turn down for AMC. Let's see if that bad boy is able to turn back up. It's right by the center line. Let's see. Let's also look at this real quick. The daily side. All you need is a little bit of buying here. That daily could cross up. Daily momentum takes over. I think we got to see. I think shorting the SPY, like the SPY, I think the opportunity is weirdly enough in the individual names. What I'd say for the SPY is if you're looking for a pullback, that daily expected move on Friday could be a good pullback. It needs to pull back, man. This is just a sickness in buying at this point. That's just an algorithmic buying. You're not even testing the 9, by the way. You're just riding the 5 all the way up. Oh, I like this song. You guys want to hear some tunes for a sec? Can you feel the love tonight? All right. I don't pay too much attention to tokens and stuff anymore. I would just say more so I'm like, I think eventually it's going to come down to 2 when it comes to, if you're talking about crypto in general. And I think crypto will end up being Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's just my opinion. Oh, sleep token banned. I'll look them up right now. See if I've heard any of their stuff. See, I'm someone that like, I don't know names very much. Let me give it a listen. Not bad. Do you mean that you love me? Got a good voice. A little bit digitally enhanced, but everything is these days. They're not bad. I kind of like it. Look at more and more confirmed from Wing. Ooh, daily crossed. The daily cross, so now you're looking at all those divergences going, oh shit. Looks like 394 would be a good level, right around, or that 50 if it catches up. Every minute, every second, every time of the night. Uh-oh. Okay, it's bouncing a little bit. I don't fuck with you. Looks like SPY might want to hit it. Dollar not raising dramatically yet. Oh, that 30-minute didn't cross, guys, for GME. That 30-minute did not cross for GME. Wow. 30-minute did not cross. Popped in for some Tesla excitement. Crazy move, man. Yeah, I looked at cost, and that thing is squeezing, which is one that's kind of tied to the whole GME thing a little bit, right? The same algorithm. I researched costs a little bit last night, and last night, the overall thing I got from looking at charts and reading around online was cost sometimes will pop earlier. AMC at this moment, you're actually about to get a buy signal today, which would be a daily cross up into positive territory. There it is, green bar. So if that ends green, it's a good sign for daily momentum to take over. And now you want to say, hey, if this 30-minute or even a 15-minute can confirm up and stay up, that's going to confirm on the daily. And that would say, hey, potential move up. Cost is nuts. SPY on the daily wasn't able to cross up, so you still could get a cross up here, but I don't think you got a meaningful pullback. I think this is too excited. I think this 4 hour, yeah, you could see more positivity, but I think you're going to start to make divergences here. I really do. And you see it here. You still have it very close to the center line. So if that thing rolls over at any time, I told you, if this wants to be healthy, it needs to do this and then do this. That would look good going into Friday, wouldn't it? But now we're doing this. We're doing this, even crazier, right? We're doing this. I said, I think that this needs to remain healthy here. This pulling down to here, then popping up, I think was healthier. Now I don't think it's healthy. Now, what could be happening also is if we get that pullback on the 30-minute here, now we're way up on this MACD. So we could be doing something like this, right? That would make a lot of sense here. I just don't think this looks healthy right now. We need some kind of pullback. Oh, if you regret putting money into GME, you might have put too much, you might have put more than you're comfortable with. But you knew what you were getting into, right? For the most part. For the most part, right? So the thing is, right here, you have divergence. So that's actually a good sign. It's a good sign because you're curling up. If that goes positive, awesome. But we have to pay attention to our risk on the shorter time frame. If the 30-minute curls down, that means that, hey, we're going into lower price action because we're in negative territory if we cross. Now, the key thing here was I was like, I want to watch this for the next 30 minutes, where I said that during this bar, because this one could curl over that MACD. What's happening right now? It's not curling over. So that means that 2 hour divergence is still in play. I did say we would find a top in June. And then I also say right after, I say, I'm perfectly fine with being wrong. We're just going to pay attention to the signals. And here's the thing about that. You might convince me, oh, now the market's going to go higher, all this. You were wrong. Is there anyone who would really confidently be like, oh yeah, 30 days, it looks like we could run into problems? It does. And guess what? The higher we go, the more that the problem is going to suck money in, the more that the problem is going to drop. The higher you go, the lower you fall. Like, don't think that shakes me at all, because if you've been watching every video, we just update you based on what's happening every single time. Every single time. Points to pay attention to every single time. It still looks likely, but here's what's happening. The problem's being drawn out more and more, and I think I didn't estimate enough how much AMC and GME actually meant to the market. That's what I think I may have went wrong with. I underestimated how big the GME and AMC problem is, because I think that's what's going on here. It's that mixed with they want to keep the market higher so that the administration looks good. It's the fact that they're still printing money. It's the fact that we're still pumping money that taxpayers are going to have to pay for, all that good stuff. Oh, you would say this is a short squeeze. Yeah, this pattern right here, that's a short squeeze. I think that's a short squeeze. Or it's just like, the thing is, it might not even be a short squeeze. It might just be manipulation upward at this point. Like, because still, I think plenty of people have calls out there, but Border Collie, thank you for subscribing. Sorry about that. Also, imagine this. Imagine I say, oh, the market's going to top most likely in the next 30 days. And then 60 days later, it tops. Imagine being that close to calling it. I'm cool with that. I just play the signals though, boys. Boys and gals. Because if I was biased, I would have said, oh, it's crashing right now. Oh, it's crashing right now. Did I ever say that? Ever? I'm just like, no, this is a time where you need to pay attention. Even right now is a time to pay attention, right? Because, boom, you're making this. Now, this would add up to, we could see that big bullish run still. Qs are about to hit the annual expected move. So now you're seeing something unexpected for an entire year. If we get above this thick red line. GME, we gotta see if you're curling down on the 30-minute, buddy. Lovely. Isn't she wonderful? Hi, buddy. I had to vacuum because of this guy this morning. My goodness. So we've got 30 minutes left. Ish. I don't know about short squeezing gold. The gold, you're seeing the move too because the dollar is coming down dramatically also, by the way. Like, that's the other thing you take into consideration. Dollar down, okay. Dollar down, gold and silver up. So, like, weirdly enough, our dollar is very devalued. I wonder how to really read into this, but it's saying gold is a priority right now, which could mean maybe even more inflation going forward. Who knows? But it's just weird to see oil start to back off a little bit. But overall, gold could just be popping higher because the dollar's coming down. Dollar less valuable, gold more valuable to the dollar. This is growing up. And it's like, why is gold going up? Wow, because it turned up on a daily. That's pretty much how I would do it. NVDA is getting out, what is it, 4% now? Now, that's a good daily bar, right? That would convince a swing trader probably. Let's see if this 4-hour can curl up. But look at this, we're closing above this level. That's very important. I think this level here, very important. The wicks, not really. I'm just paying attention if we close above those closing bars. Don't you let out that antidote. I'm just making sure to watch closely for any kind of weird move. SPY, is that hitting it? Okay, SPY hit it. Let's watch this for a minute here. I'm going to keep my eye on GME and AMC. AMC closed above $5. I think that's pretty good. But I assume on Friday, the options, the rigged market's probably going to make it so it has to be forced below $5. Too many people would start to make money if that happened, I keep like putting in a dip and then something else for me to eat comes in. If you have a girl prawns off a bed for you, son, I got 99 prawns, but Facts, William. The other thing is, like, why would they be buying gold and stuff like that? Well, you look at how devalued the dollar is. The dollar might be kaput. So, my suggestion would be to anyone who maybe gets lucky and sees a certain few stocks go up to hundreds of dollars, and maybe you sell said stock to have a bunch of cash. I would say use that as a time to think about what is real money compared to what you're holding in your bank account. And I would think about maybe looking at something shiny that is a conductor that is in a lot of our cell phones. Thank you for spending your day with us. Do all you do. I still say you're the best YouTuber. I really appreciate that, Robert. And like I said, someone mentioned, that I did say we'd see something bad in the next 30 days. I'm still very honest throughout. I'm not going to sit there and try to sell you that. I'm going to tell you if we're going to go higher. I'm going to tell you how we would do it. I'm going to tell you how we would go down. And then the opportunity here is more so to learn from it. And that's the overall take here. Is like, I'm never expecting, how hard it is to be like, hey, there's going to be a crash in 20 days or something. Very, very difficult. But I would just say, if I'm off by a couple of months, cool. I pay attention to the signals. Solar panels need silver. I don't know if solar energy is the most sustainable thing. It's too expensive right now. I wish that we could get a little bit more efficient at it and then bring it out. That's what I think. If we could somehow create more efficiency with solar energy, it'd be a great thing. But I'm not smart enough when it comes to the sciences. Jump on me, baby. Well, let's go look over here for a second. Let me look over here. So I don't know about today, but for today and the entire week, the highest that you're expected to go is 130.74. And you're running into the slight end of the day, but right now, the direction of the momentum as of right now on a 2-hour chart for NVIDIA would tell me it has a higher probability to hit the upside range right now, which would be 130.74. Okay, so we do have the opportunity to do this, but I just want you to see how overbought you are on a 15, overbought on a 30. Now the 2 hours is going to be different. You might not be overbought, but that could take a couple of days to hit there. But what I'm just thinking is the momentum's pointing up. Let me not try to think about this too hard. Let me just say, momentum's turning up, that goes positive, you're most likely hitting like 130, if not blowing past that. So we'll see, but we've seen a lot of crazy stuff, so I don't want to take that out of consideration, the crazy move. But as of right now, a move like this would make total sense by Friday close. There's always two sides to that coin, though. Right now, that's what the momentum's telling you. If that turns down, well, then you could end up down here technically by Friday close, but I don't think that would happen. That'd be kind of crazy. We'll have to pay attention to the dollar towards the end of the day and make sure no rigged stuff's happening. Hey, I would die for you. Hold on, let me go look at you really want those to go a little bit more positive. Just straight up overbought buying all day on light volume. NVIDIA, that looks like it's going to be a decent move, though, as of right now. We just never see a pullback again. Hurricane Barrel, that's what it is. Yeah, now we have a freaking one of the worst hurricanes apparently coming this way too. It's like all of it could happen at the same time. Interesting. HMRFF. Back when I was like 20, I almost worked for a solar panel company. Damn, that one's up pretty good. Is that Home Run Resources or no? It's just worrisome because the Qs are up high, so it looks like some kind of pullback would be more likely first, but this thing just ain't pulling back, right? So we can't just sit there and beg for a pullback. We kind of got to wait for it to happen and then go into the next move. I'm just trying to watch the dollar towards the end of the day here, trying to watch what happens towards the end of the day because something's fishy, and now we get an FOMC minutes release an hour after. Sorry, my eye eczema shit is just fucking killing me today. Need to put on my lotion. Options automatically closing right now. Don't you wanna love me? A friend of mine. Dollar? Don't do it, dollar. Don't rip it away from the people. I'm happy if you guys are making money today, by the way. I'm happy if you guys are in some of these moves. But, oh my gosh. Pretty cool. This is great behavior on a 5-minute. Curl up, boom. Use it as support, boom. Great behavior here. It's just not on the bigger time frames. I think you need to pull back on the bigger time frames now. Uh-oh. Yeah, it could be just profit taking initially, so we'll look into it. Making money on the long-term hold. Yeah, I saw it was like down to like what? 60 cents maybe or something like that. Maybe even lower, but now it's up like $1 or something. Who's got rhythm? They might have just forced stocks higher. Because that's not retail, just so you know. This big ass move, that's not retail. These huge spikes down, that's not retail. All right, looks like the target was the SPY upward expected move. Bustin' at a party, smoking in the car with you. 7 Nation Army fighting at the bar with you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Cause I can't let go. It's chemical. You finally have a 5-minute divergence. Let's see what happens here. Actually, let's say the Qs, because those are crazier. You don't even have divergence up here. This is crazier. I'm keeping my eye on the dollar. It's still not going up dramatically, so nothing to really see there. Looks like maybe some profit taking. Oh, and what we'll do, guys, for tonight, I really want you guys to focus on tonight, having fun with your family, doing all that good stuff. I'm going to put out a YouTube video tomorrow. I'm going to try to put that out just during the day, so anytime during the day you have to watch it, you can go for it. I want you to spend time with your family and enjoy yourself, but I will be putting out a YouTube video tomorrow, most likely sometime in the morning. That way you guys can get that analysis a little bit here. Are you live every day? Yep, live every single day. Oh, God, here we go. We went higher than my risky zone. But yeah, we're live every single morning for 2, sometimes 4 hours. I try to do live streams at the end of the day, but I don't have time for it. I still do other things. I still have my own trading. I still have the marketing job still. But hopefully YouTube keeps growing, guys. Thank you guys for liking every single time. It gets me closer to being able to drop that and maybe doing live streams at the end of the day. So that'd be nice. I know that right now, if I added like, $5 membership for live closing live streams, like $5 join thing, it's just I'm trying to weigh if I want to do that, because that would really probably push me over the edge if a couple hundred people did that. But I just hate charging people a bunch of money. I'd rather make ad money. I think the course is where you guys can really help give back and learn. So my dad owns a black hat fireworks tent, so we'll be probably blasting off some fireworks. We got family members with a nice pool that we're gonna go see, which I've never seen their house. They just moved here from Texas, so I'm excited to see their house. We're gonna take baby girl into the pool. She likes to swim, so she'll get to see all her cousins. We have a huge family here in Kansas that there's usually probably like, there might be over 100 people at our 4th of July, and we usually put on it's like 20 dudes standing out there lighting fireworks, so I might be one of those 20 dudes. Usually I like to do my own fireworks show where I just tie a bunch of cakes together in like a line like this, and then I just light one end and I just sit back and I go, sick. It just goes spoom, spoom, spoom. That's how I like to do it. My dad does, actually. My dad does a black hat firework tent, and he does it in the outer parts of the city so he can have the not illegal stuff, but more explosive stuff. Because like in the city, they don't allow you to sell certain fireworks, but he can sell it a little bit outside the city. And yesterday, I should show you guys the pictures, but yesterday we had a huge storm come through, and one of the tents next to my dad's completely collapsed. It was a big storm. You saw like sheets of water. It was so windy. Yo, what lake? What lake are you at? What lake are you at? I love lake life, man. Lake life, so much fun. Near Kansas? Table Rock. I've been to Table Rock. I've been to the Ozarks. There's like Stillwater, I think, like Oklahoma. It's pretty close. I love lake life, man. Oh, Meadowlark. Okay. What was the other one that's like a private one? Grove? It's like Grove Hill or something like that. Grove something. That one's really cool. It's a very small lake. It's just like a big round circle, and you just tube around that bad boy. I was the only one that the dads couldn't flip off. They call me a freak athlete. Not anymore, though. Not a freak athlete anymore. Depending on the FOMC, I will appreciate it. I think the FOMC is nothing but a poison for our whole country, to be genuine. Now, if we're talking about the FOMC minutes, right? That's what you're really asking about. The FOMC minutes, I think people now that they see a good number, they're going to expect, oh, we're going to fight inflation and now it's done. I think they're going to stay the same. I think they're going to stay the same. Because here's the thing. They tell you what they're doing without telling you what they're doing. They have told you, oh, previous administrations made the mistake of holding higher for longer. We're not going to have to do that because when you hold for higher for longer, it puts banks under stress and then something in the system breaks and you have to drop rates dramatically. They said they weren't going to do that. They also, if you remember, said previously that The inflation is transitory. That turned out to be wrong. So they told you they are not going to hold higher for longer. What are they doing right now? They're holding higher for longer, which just tells you the market can continue to go up because the rates are not dropping. Once they have to cut the rates dramatically because something breaks in the system, that's when something is bad happening. So what am I expecting from the FOMC minutes? The same. I'm expecting the exact same. Yields come down and people start to expect, oh, they're going to cut tomorrow. They're going to say they're pricing in a cut. No. 2 years ago, he said we would have 2% inflation by right now. Now, from this point right here, yesterday, I believe he had a talk on Monday or something like that. That day, he said, okay, now we're going to be down to 2% inflation in the next 2 years. So every 2 years, he's just telling you it's going to keep going down to 2%. It just never does. So he has to hold the rates where they are. Therefore, you would just assume it's going to be the same today. I'm between St. Louis and KC. Even the townspeople don't know we're here. That's nice. That's really nice. Keep it a secret. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell me. Tell me in an email so I can buy a lake house there. Yeah, and they're also, if these derivatives start to get exposed, AMC and GME, if the derivatives start to go under, they're I think it's it turns into trillions and trillions of dollars at risk, which means commercial real estate's at risk. If commercial real estate's at risk, you have banks that could fail. Those banks fail. What do they have to do? They have to just default all the loans that they've given out and then sell those loans to another company. If no other company can buy it, what do? Well, the government might just start to take back people's stuff even though they're paying their loan. You could see some sketchy stuff start to happen. But what if they see a huge hurricane come in and they use climate change as a reason to take your business? I don't know, something like that. I don't know. But I'm just saying the Federal Reserve for today, they're most likely not going to do anything. I don't know. Jeremiah, so if you want to know one thing I'm very bad at, geography. My wife makes fun of me all the time. I said, oh, they sound like they're from Minnesota. She just turned, she's like, where is Minnesota? I'm like, I have no idea. I think it's above Kansas. I think it's a Midwest state, right? By Canada, maybe, eh? She's like, we moved to Georgia for a minute, and she was like, all right, where's Georgia? I'm like, I don't know, man. Down there by Alabama or something? By Florida and Alabama, I think. That's one thing I will not give you guys any kind of course on, is geography. All right, let's see what happens for the rest of the day here. Ooh. Oh. You live in GA? Well, I lived there about a year ago. I lived in Atlanta. Buford. I lived in Buford about a year ago, right outside Atlanta. If they were to randomly just say, oh, we're raising or cutting rates, that would be a big surprise. Money-making geography. It's hot as fuck. Hey, it's hot here too. I love how I'm like, yeah, it's hot there, it's hot here. No, yeah, Georgia. Is it humid in Georgia, around this time? I don't remember. Pretty sure Kansas might be more humid. Very humid, okay. Yeah, the Japan thing might throw it for a loop. We'll see what happens. Tesla oh, I need to take a breath. Yeah, that's... Are we gonna see that 30-minute retest? We'll see. It's roasting in Florida. I'd be careful. That I don't know if the trajectory of that hurricane, but Oh, the hurricane came out of nowhere. We never saw it. Yeah, it's almost like the government has probably weather systems that create hurricanes. I could believe that. I said technology went up way too fast. Ooh. Ooh. Right where it's supposed to. There you go. See if another move up happens from here. Let's see, daily, 15 minutes to see if this daily can cross. If not, that's a rejection and you might see a downward move. 30 minutes still pulling back. But they're getting close together. You see how these are all getting close together now? That's a good thing. You see this happen? Uh-oh, this thing could cross on that next bar. So if we see that, that'd be a good sign. Hot Atlanta. Yo, the, what's it called in Atlanta was cool. The, aquarium. The aquarium is really cool in Atlanta. That was a ton of fun. I loved the aquarium. I love shit like that. If you don't know, I love zoos, aquariums, all kinds of things like that. Like a kid in a candy store. This hasn't turned over either yet. Interesting. Whoa, 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 digga diggy bum 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 lum 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 lum. All right. Enough random mumbling. Uh-oh. Getting some interesting moves. All right, we look at this on a 2-hour. Don't read into the 5-minute too much here. I'm still jitty for the block. Nah, we gotta watch like cues. What are the chances it goes negative for the day? I'd say pretty damn low. You got 15 minutes left to drop 5%. I think that's probably not gonna happen. That's probably not gonna happen. All right, but the 30-minute could get some kind of pullback over the next few days, which is kind of weird. It's like we see this random big move from Tesla up. We know a lot of retail likes Tesla. What if they pump the stock higher and then just rip it all away over the next week? That is something sketchy that can happen, and I'm not the most excited for that if it happens. Now, if it's going to behave normally, and it's moving normally, how it should be with its momentum, which it is for the most part on the daily scale, then we would curl down, get a significant pullback, and turn right back up. I'd really like to see this happen in some fashion. You can't just keep heading up forever. This isn't a stock that was a penny stock or something. It needs to probably pull back, find those buyers again. You're going to run into liquidity issues eventually. That level lines up with some previous support too. You just come down into here, a monthly expected move. So what are the chances it gives it all up? There's still a 68% chance that you drop down below this level by the end of the month. And then there's a 68% chance you end here by the end of the day or end of the week. But I think that's not looking too likely at this point. You're up too high. Doesn't mean crazy shit can't happen. Tesla does have the highest implied volatility for the month of July. Out of all the stocks that we cover, Tesla has the highest implied volatility. Which means big swings up. We saw a big swing up. We saw a massive swing up. Now that means big swings down and then maybe back up. So now that I know Tesla is something that looks like it's getting a rig move to the upside, if I see a 30-minute, a 2-hour pullback, and then I see that curl up and go positive, I'm going to treat that like trading NVIDIA. I'm going to say, all right, swing trade that bad boy. So maybe I'll try to make that course over the weekend. That way some people can benefit from Tesla's swings if it has them, because it's got big implied volatility, which means big swings, so you can make pretty good money. Uh-oh. Giving up the last 30-minute bar. Dollar's starting to spike up a little bit. This is bullish, though. The dollar curling over on the daily. Now, when does this close? This doesn't close for 6 hours. You can see a lot of dramatic things once that FOMC comes out. Oh my god, that would be so sketchy if just like at 1 o'clock that comes out and this just goes doesn't cross over. God, that would be so sketchy. All right, you're finally getting a 5 minute to curl over. That's all you need to read into at this moment. You just say, all right, we're finally seeing some stuff. Gonna turn down, maybe get close to the center line. No 5 minute divergence up here for the Qs. And they're actually getting a little bit of a bounce here, so we'll just pay attention. Hey, must be the money. God, I want to go to the lake now so bad. What is it? Brain injury. I'm jealous. Every 4th of July, I used to go to like Table Rock almost every year. Or the Ozarks. Table Rock at the Ozarks with my buddies. God. It's just so beautiful. All of it. And just, Mr. Wynn, just remember that the market closes in 10 minutes. So you're pretty much asking, is Tesla going to give up a 5% gain in 10 minutes? That's what you're pretty much asking there. And it's just very unlikely. That thing is just ripping. Sick and nippy way. See, I like country when it's mixed in with some bebop music, you know? Oh, are we going to use that daily expected move to remain higher? It might. To live for so much more. It might by Friday. I'm very cautious about this, and I'll look into that FOMC minutes at 1 o'clock. So it seems like somebody call 911. Wait, Fed Jerome Powell on July 9th has a testimony? Yeah, he might get grilled. And then core inflation 2 days later. Holy shit, we got rocks in the stream, folks. Oh gosh, Amazon. I'm just clicking through real quick on my other stuff. Google, try to curl up on the 2 hour. We'll talk about that tomorrow during the video. Oh, sorry, yeah, 1 p.m. Central Time. I'm Central Time, so I'm always an hour off, but 2 p.m. Eastern. I can hear them playing. I can hear them. Yeah, you at least need a 15-minute pullback here, something. Up and away, cause they gon' find me anyway. So whatever, I'll be up and away, up and away. GME not curling over on a 30-minute, good sign. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, SPY just popping off. Ooh, it's financials here doing some good shit. My goodness. Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Actually, let's do 5 minute. And then I have AMC and GME up on the other screen. This is something crazy to see for the week and something crazy to see for the day. What are you guys? I really need to change my name here. Yeah, it just makes me think you had a traumatic brain injury, and I'm like, I want to ask about it, but I don't know if it's a touchy subject. Not meaning your brain. Like, if you have a brain injury, that might be a touchy subject. I'm like, never mind. If you did survive a brain injury, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure. I think, well, international market, I don't think they do the 4th of July, right? That's American Independence Day, so. Yeah, the overseas markets are open as normal, from what I'm seeing. It could be. That's the gamma squeeze that could lead into the short squeeze, maybe. Gold is going down? Oh, watch the dollar. Uh-oh. I want to see what this closes at, because this has 6 hours left in it. Ooh, it'll be like that. God damn. We're gonna hit a yearly expected move. That's crazy. That monthly expected move is higher. Just killing your guys' ears right now. I'm worried about this one, man. This is what I'm worried about. This guy right here. Look at this 30-minute, all these divergences before a big announcement. Or, sorry, that's not a 30-minute. It was the 2 hour that had the divergence, but 30-minute pullback coming, maybe. Make me hard. This is what I'm worried about, though. This right here. Now you're seeing something crazy for Microsoft outside the expected move. Like, what is the very bullish thing happening right now that is causing this for every single stock? Uh-oh. You're seeing crazy stuff across the board. I'm baffled. Biggity baffled. Used the daily expected move to go higher. That is crazy. Is gold still dropping off? Still at 1.07. I'll keep an eye on it. Dollar at 0.39, so nothing crazy there either. But we did see borrowing of cash go up. A lot of borrowing. Gosh, AMC, you were so close to confirming that daily stuff there, man. You were so close. Give it time. You were so close, so close, so close. You were like 10 cents away. You were like 10 cents away for confirming upside here. GME slightly lower high on the short time frames. I'm going to come back and watch, I mean, I'm not going to come back live, but I will be watching what's going on for that FOMC minutes. I think that that's a sketchy thing to do, and we're at a sketchy place where shit can happen, man. From a trading perspective, hey, daily turned up. Whoa, why is that moving? Now we can remain overbought for some time. We'll see. All right, guys, that's it for today. Looks like we have the close coming out. We do have Jerome Powell, well, I guess the FOMC minutes coming out in the next hour or so. And then we also get to have Jerome Powell talking on July 9th. So that is very interesting to see. We'll have to see how that's happening. As of right now, the thing to pay attention to, weird things happening when the yields are coming down dramatically, but we're not seeing the small caps pop at all. We're seeing gold start to drop at the end of the day. I'm going to pay attention to the dollar as well, seeing if this can gain some ground in the post market here with that data at 1 o'clock. So I won't be putting out a YouTube video tonight, but I will be putting out one tomorrow in the morning. Watch it anytime throughout the day. I wanted to make it in the morning so you have plenty of time to watch it throughout the day. And then please, go have fun with your family tonight. Go eat some great steaks. Be American about it. Wear your flags. Be happy that America is still, whether you like it or not, America, because of the people in it, because of how it's set up, best country in the world, most diverse country in the world, most accepting country in the world, whether you like it or not, that's the truth. And so I love this country with all my heart, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere fucking else. And that is a fact. So thank you guys so much for joining today. Really appreciate it. If you want to learn anything like that, hey, get that course while it's $100. Dedicate yourself to some learning. But really, even if you're going to take the course today, make sure to set aside some time for your family. That's some time to have some fun, jump in a pool, eat a burger, be American about it. You know what I mean? Even though I don't know if hamburgers really, I don't even know, like hamburger probably came from Hamburg, but you know, whatever. Eat a hot dog. I don't know. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great day. Really, really hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hope you have a great 4th of July. Blow some stuff up. By some stuff, I mean fireworks, not inciting violence here. Blow some fireworks up. Oh, God. My bad. I should get off. My bad. No, but seriously, you guys are awesome. Have a great 4th of July. Say hi to your family from me personally. Say, hey, Lucas says hi to you. It's a guy that I watch on YouTube. He says hi. He says he hopes you have a great, great day with the family, all right? Thank you guys so much for joining. I'll see you guys later. Peace. God, it was so close, AMC. Happy 4th, guys. See ya. Sorry, I came back to turn it off, and I just wanted to see what Mark was looking at. Yeah, we'll see if this dollar turns up. We'll see what happens around 1 o'clock. Thank you guys for joining and turn it off. See you guys later.